Welcome back to another week of Brick Dynasty Live, the only show with ad space on my refrigerator. This week's guest is now the sole owner of the Brickshed, which is amazing. Welcome back, Noah. How are you?
Thank you for having me. I'm well. I'm wonderful. I'm very good indeed. How is everything over on the other side of the world?
It's good over here. It's been fun watching the updates and seeing the latest, whatever you call it, the sale from the Brickshed, your open house fair, whatever you call it. That was very cool. It's been great to watch.
Yeah, I'm enjoying the YouTube stuff. It's really kind of, ever since I did the big minifigure video, ever since then, it's just gone crazy. So I've been putting a lot more time and effort into the videos. I'm working on before it kind of started popping off, I was only ever working on one video at a time, like just doing the vlog or stuff. But I feel like a proper content creator now because I've got like 4 videos I'm filming at the same time. So I got to keep track of all the footage now and stuff. But it's going well.
Cool. So you're doing additional content beyond the vlog now?
Yeah, I'm trying to do some more stuff that's not just the vlogs. I usually am working on 2 vlogs at a time because I film them a week. I post them a week after they actually technically finish, just to gives me a bit of space to do some editing. So I'm usually editing one and filming one, and then I'm currently filming 2 additional videos to that. I'm doing. I bought a big bulk lot of Bionicle parts, and I'm doing a special video on that, and I have another minifigure video on its way as well. So and I'm going to do a part 2 video to the I bought out my business partner. So and I've got another video as well. There's a lot of announcement videos that I need to put out. So but it's going well. I actually just surpassed the biggest Australian Bricklink YouTuber. So I believe, as far as I'm aware, I am the biggest at the moment. I mean, it's tiny compared to actual YouTubers, but I'm enjoying it. It's really fun.
That's awesome. And you have your podcast, I guess.
Yes. Well. We are filming the next episode this weekend, I'm pretty sure. So I don't remember when the last episode came out. I think we've done, 3 episodes now, maybe 4. So we have some catching up to do there. I've also got, we've done 4 episodes. There we go. And the last one was a month ago. So we definitely need to put out the next one ASAP. But we have Jason from Kiwi Brick Exchange, who does the podcast with us, is actually coming to Australia in, I want to say 2 weeks. And he's going to spend some time here, and we're going to probably do some cool video stuff as well.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Man. No shortage of things going on over there.
Absolutely not. I'm a very busy man. I've got lots to do, and it's just all happening ever since I had the announcement when I bought out Harrison. I had already bought him out for a month. I'd been running it by myself for a month, but now that it's out in there, and I'm just like kind of getting all of these things ready to. Lots of things on the. I want to say on the docket that I need to get going, and I've got lots of big ideas, but I need to make sure that I'm not jumping the gun on anything. I often get too excited over things and skip stuff that I should be doing and just jump right in, which is sometimes that's a good thing, but I have to remember that I need to sometimes take a step back and slow things down. But we are doing very well. I'm about to announce, which I can put it here, but I'm going over to America in 5 weeks. So that's going to be fun. Going to catch up with people you've already spoken to. So it should be good. But lots of things happening. That's for sure.
Man, unreal. So, how much can we go into the buyout? I mean, I'm not going to ask specific numbers, of course.
I'm an open book. I'm happy for you to ask me anything, and I'll answer everything but how much I paid him. That's like the only thing. But I mean, I'm happy to, like, you ask a question, I'll answer it in a way that will be good. It's
Okay.
tricky.
All right. So I guess to start with, you had said a while ago, I believe, that you were looking to change the partnership. Is that correct? You
Yes.
were going to change
Yeah.
the balance. Did you end up doing that? Or did you not actually follow through there and you went right to this step?
We hadn't put anything into writing. We had planned to, like, this was maybe a year and a half ago, and I brought up with Harrison that I wasn't happy with the current arrangement, and 50-50 is clearly not going to work long term. We had a big discussion, and the end result of that was I was going to buy out 30% of his share, and we would go to 80-20. But I didn't have the money at the time to purchase that, so we put it on the back burner. But we decided to start running the store as if I was the majority shareholder. So Harrison kind of he put his decision, he made decisions when they were applicable to really big picture stuff, but pretty much for about a year I had just been making all the decisions. So, whatever was happening actually in the store, that was up to me, and I just would let him know. I'd be like, "Oh, I've hired somebody. Oh, I've bought some more shelves. Oh, I'm gonna do this. And it was just me kind of informing him of what I was doing. The only stuff that he was, I'm trying to find my words here, that he would have a major say in was the reporting side of things, the bookkeeping, all of that. He was managing all that for me. He's an accountant by trade, so kind of worked out for the best. And I let him handle all that. I didn't really put my 2 cents into that. I just trusted that what he was doing was right. We also had an actual accountant as well who we conferred with, but I let him do that, and I was running day to day. The only stuff that I needed to get his approval on was kind of stuff that, if I was making a purchase over like a couple of $1,000s, then I'd be like, oh, hey, can we spend this money, kind of thing. But otherwise, for about a year and a half, I reckon I'd say I was running the Brickshed. If we did markets or anything where I needed him down, or if I had a big project planned in the shed, like I wanted to rearrange it or something, I'd send him a message and get him to come down, and we would do it together. But for the most part, I was doing all the heavy lifting. And I think when I first initiated that to start, when we were like, oh, I'm going to buy out a percentage of your share, so let's start running the business as if we are already there, I thought that was the right thing to do, but it definitely wasn't. What it should have been was we should have just started. I should have bought him out then. Not fully, because I wasn't ready to, but I know I didn't have the money at the time, but we should have come up with some kind of arrangement to just start the buyout then, because I then worked for a year and a half as an 80-20 partner, but not as an 80-20 partner. So It was, there were pros and cons to the situation, but yes, we had been running it like that up until I actually have bought him out.
Man, that must have been tough, like mentally and emotionally, to have the balance be that far off, but the finances not be. Even if it was understood ahead of time, it's got to be hard to not have some level of like resentment or angst or something. Like we're 80-20, but 50-50. I mean, was there some of that there?
Yeah, for sure. There was, and that was a tricky thing to deal with, because we started off as friends, and we had, I think when we started the business together officially, neither of us thought it was going to be this big. So when we decided, okay, let's do this legit, let's get an ABN, let's register as a business, let's, you know, do it all properly, let's become a partnership, let's get an agreement together. It was all done very haphazardly and not, you know, with the fullest kind of, you know, we didn't go into the finer details, and that definitely has bit me now that we didn't, you know, kind of cross all our T's and dot all our I's back when we first started. And it was getting bigger and bigger. And when we started that process of, okay, I'm not prepared to continue as we're going, as soon as that conversation was had, everything changed, because it was the first time that an issue was brought up between us. And it's a major, like, we had issues come up, like, you know, we disagreed on stuff all the time. Like, I'm trying to think of an example. I can't, but like I don't know. It's a very long time ago now. But like, doing certain things, you know, going on to, you know, expanding over to, like, way back when we expanded over to Brickout, or changing from Brick Freedom to Bricker, or just, you know, all of those kinds of day-to-day operation stuff, we would disagree on. It'd be like, he thought we should do something else, I thought we should do it a different way. But that's fine. That's all kind of in the business. But when we're discussing how we're running the business, it's slightly different, and it kind of had there was more weight to it. So the decision was made that we were going to start that buyout process. And from then on, both of us are now running as if I have more interest in the business, which I do. So Harrison has now less motivation, less expectations to continue and to work at his utmost best. And there were definitely times throughout this process that I felt negative towards him, and I had, you know, resentment and stuff. And it was, and he knows that, and we've had conversations about those kinds of things, which are tough conversations to have. And I'm very happy to say that we are in a good place right now. As good as one can be. But yeah, to answer your question, definitely there is still resentment. Like, I never wanted to do this alone, so and I really wanted to do it with Harrison, and it does sadden me that he is no longer a part of the Brickshed. Actually, I shouldn't say he's no longer a part of the you know, the business side of the Brickshed. He's working for the Brickshed now instead of helping run it, just on a smaller scale. But it does sadden me that this has happened.
Okay, so if he's still working with the Brickshed, then the friendship is still intact enough that you guys can still be friends, still work together. So okay, well that's great news.
Yeah, we haven't nothing got to the point where we were not going to be friends. There definitely was that thought when we decided to do the full buyout. There was, I think I said it in the video, there was about 4 weeks of negotiations between him, myself, lawyers, accountants. There was a lot of to and fro, and during that 4 weeks, I definitely was like, oh, this is going to be the end of our friendship. It's not going to work out. This is all going to go to crap, and we'll go our separate ways, and it's never going to work out. I'm very, very happy that didn't happen, because if it did, then this would be a different dynamic, and I'm not sure what that would have meant for the Brickshed. We probably, if it went that route, we probably would still be negotiating and discussing things, and I probably wouldn't be on YouTube at the moment, and the Brickshed, definitely the store probably would be closed, and all of these things were going to have this effect. And I think that contributed to how the buyout happened, because of I was scared that it was going to go down that route, and I went out of my way to make sure it didn't go that way. But I think it could vary. There was definitely a time in that 4 weeks where it was like 50-50. This can go really bad, or it could go, I wouldn't say really good, but I would say it could go not as bad as it could have. Oh God, that was some great English there. But yeah.
Man, that's tough. So okay, so before we get too much into the process, if, hindsight being 2020, whatever the cliche is there, are there simple things that you could have done at the beginning that would have prevented a lot of this?
Yes. Yeah.
Mostly paperwork related, I'm assuming, agreements.
Yeah. So we had a partnership agreement, and I know this is very different this is an Australian company versus an American company, and there are different rules and regulations. So if there are any people watching this, just, seek your own advice. But that's what I would do. I would seek advice when you're starting a business with somebody, whether it's Bricklink or something else, especially if you're going into business with a friend. Just, you never know what could happen at the end. You never know. Like, even if you think, oh, this is going to be the smallest little thing in the whole world, it's better to cross your T's, dot your I's, and, have everything on the up and up. Yes, it might cost you a little bit more money at the start, but it will pay dividends at the end. So for me personally, it was the partnership agreement that we had written up was not detailed enough to help in this situation of us closing the partnership. So when we good on you, Ralph. When we went through the process and I was talking to lawyers, basically the first thing they said was, do you have a partnership agreement? I'm like, yes, I do. All right, let's have a look at it. Let's see what the partnership agreement stipulates if this situation were to come up. Because it was as simple as that. It was simple as, in the partnership agreement, we should have had a clause down for if something like this could have happened, and we didn't, which meant it was all up in the air, which meant it was just up to interpretation, and we hadn't agreed to what would happen. So we both wanted to do it in a different way, and the way the lawyers spoke to us about it was, well, you don't have an agreed, when you first started the partnership, there is no agreement here that says, if this happens, do this. So it was just, we had to come to an agreement ourselves. There was no easy way out, which made the process harder. And I did not want to go to court, and I didn't want it to go that way. So I, adjusted the way I was negotiating to avoid that situation.
Man, that's tough. So how is your paperwork? Do you keep pretty clean books, or do you take the Brick Dynasty route and just buy things and then try to remember to log them some other day?
No, everything's on the up and up. We've been probably for maybe, I want to say 3 years, we've been making perfect books. So
awesome. That helps.
We use an accounting software called Xero. And also we have an accountant, and we have Harrison as the bookkeeper. So
okay.
I would, for anyone who's starting a Bricklink store or who's in the early stages, just keep all those finances separate to your own personal ones. Even if it's a hobby store,
100%.
You just want to make sure that it's, making profit and you're keeping track of everything. Just keep track of everything. Write it all down. If you don't want to pay for a software that does it for you, just once a week, once a month, hop on a spreadsheet, go through all your transactions, put them in expenses and income and deal with it at the end of the year, but just get it down so you don't have to do it all and figure it out and work it out. Like, just do it throughout your journey. But yes, we keep very good books.
Okay, that helps. I can't imagine getting to the end of the process and where it's like, okay, well, now we're gonna split. We're gonna do the buyout. I need to figure out what's here, and I have no paper trail on any of it. Yeah, that could have been real messy.
Yeah, absolutely.
So when it came time for the buyout, did you just go and actually divide the store in half? How did you decide how that was going to work?
Yeah. So we had the conversation. I brought it up with him. I said, I want to buy you all fully out. How does that make you feel? And he said he was on board. And the agreement between us at the end of that conversation was, if we're going to do this, we're just going to do it. We're not going to will they, won't they? It's just going to happen. And we both agreed, okay, this has happened. Like, I think we, in that one conversation, we agreed that I was going to buy him out. And then it was up to how we were going to do that. So the first step was valuing the business. That's what we needed to do, and figure out how much all of this stuff was worth and what the business was worth, and come up with some kind of number to use as a valuation. So I then went and did a big stock take. So I went through the whole shed. I counted every drawer, every bit of stationery, literally, I mean, everything that you could think of that was owned by the Brickshed was put into a spreadsheet, given a value, given a retail value, given a wholesale value, and I just put it all into a spreadsheet. I then also went through all of the sets and all of the minifigures, and I did an audit on all of that just to make sure that all the valuable stuff was here and present and accounted for. I didn't go through all the parts because that just would have been,
of course,
a waste of my time. So once I did that, I sent it through to Harrison. I wanted to make sure because I did it, so I could have fudged the numbers. I could have said, oh, the business is worth not as much. So I sent that through to him. I added in our inventory value, and I added in how much cash we had on hand, all the bank accounts, PayPal accounts, all of that stuff that we had, and I sent it to him, and I put down a number. I said, look, well, this is what I think, after doing a stock take, I believe that the business is worth X amount of dollars. And my offer to you is 50% of that. Because we're 50-50. So my offer is 50% of that. And Harrison went down a different road to valuing the business. He agreed that the way I had valued the business was correct. Like, that's okay. This is how much stock we have. This is how much stuff we have. This is what it's all worth. I agree with that number, but he wanted more. I'm trying to make sure I don't, I'm trying to use my words carefully here. I don't think Harrison will watch this, but I want to be fair to him. So he went down the road of, okay, so at the end of each financial year, we say that we made X amount of profit. So, we had these many sales, and these were our expenses, and, after there's some other accounting stuff that goes into that, but basically we get a number and says, okay, we made $20,000 in profit this financial year. And 50% of that goes to me, and 50% of that goes to Harrison, and then we have to pay tax on that. That's pretty much how it works. There's some other rules involved, but that's bulk standard. Yep. We've been doing it for 3 years or 2. I think we've reported income for 2 years, I believe. So we have paid tax on money that the business has made, but we never saw that cash. The business didn't make $20,000 and then have $20,000 at the end and then give it to us. The the value of the inventory went up in value because we invested our profits back into the business rather than taking them out for ourselves. But somebody still needs to pay tax on that profit, which falls onto us, not onto the business, because we were a partnership at the time. We weren't a company. This is Australian law. It's not, it might be similar over there, but Harrison wanted to be paid out for the profits for the money that he's paid tax on. As he's like, well, I have paid tax on X amount of money. I deserve that money. So I was happy to do that, but I was happy for him to choose. I was like, well, you can't have one without the other. So you can't have both. You can't have you can't have your cake and eat it too. So he wanted 50% of the value of the business plus all the profits that he'd been paid. However, you're double dipping here. That's what I tried to explain to him. If we took away the profits, the business wouldn't be worth this much. If we said the business was worth less, we wouldn't have made as much. So if you're taking both, you're doubling up. And so the number that he came back with to me was very, very high and an unreasonable amount to ask, in my opinion. And he was justifying it in a way that made sense to him. That was at the very start. So we had both come to two numbers. I'd come to one number that was a lot lower than where he was at. He came to one number that was a lot higher. And there wasn't, neither of us were really willing to have any wiggle room at the time until we got advice from other people. So that then instigated us to go do our private research, and we stopped kind of communicating. We were talking, but we didn't talk about the buyout anymore because we wanted to figure out where we were actually at what we needed to do legally and professionally. So I went to my own personal accountant, and I went to a couple of them. I went to and saw two lawyers, and I brought all of the information to them. They gave me back the same answer. They said, okay, what you're saying is right. And Harrison went to his own accountant and his own lawyer, I'm assuming. And he came back and said they have agreed with him. So I get it. Your accountant, your lawyer is going to side with you. Of course, that makes sense. I get that. Harrison had come down a little bit, and I was willing to come up a little bit, but we still hadn't come to an agreement. Long story short, in the end, the value that I gave him was not based on much. It was really not based. It wasn't based on the inventory value. It wasn't based on profits. It was just a number. I mentioned at the start that it seemed that this could go negatively and the business could suffer, and Harrison and I might not continue being friends. And I didn't want that to happen. So I wanted to resolve this quickly. And I also wasn't doing very well mentally myself, because the Brickshed, I wasn't working on it anymore. I was all my time and energy was going into the buyout, and I was getting fidgety, and I never function well when I'm not working. So I hadn't worked in 3 weeks, other than managing the contractors coming in and out to process orders. And I think I might have done a little bit of admin work, but really I wasn't uploading stock, and I wasn't doing what I love. So I needed to get this over fast, based on some conversations I had with my team, my accountants and my lawyers. They said, look, if you can't resolve this yourself personally, then you'll be forced to go to court, and that could take a year to resolve. And I was not willing to do that. I was like, that is out of the question. I can't stop this for a year. This is my full-time job, so it's my livelihood. and I really didn't want to go back to work. So I spat back an offer that was a lot higher than where I was at. It was about double what I originally offered, around about there. And I said, look, I'm happy to offer you this amount of money. The offer expires within, I gave him a time limit. I said, look, I'll give you this amount of money. These are my stipulations. Some of those stipulations were, it was just about the time frame that if you agree to this amount, then all of this needs to be done by X date. So it was just more about the handover stuff. So he needed to provide me with a standard operating procedure with all the stuff that he does for the bookkeeping side of things. He needed to do a couple of things that were outstanding tasks that the Brickshed he'd already said he was going to do, just bookkeeping related stuff. And a few other bits and pieces. I needed him to bring back, he had Brickshed stock at his place. So I was like, you need to bring it back by X date. Just a bunch of stipulations that I needed to make this process work if I was going to offer this amount of money. And that actually happened when we were in Perth visiting Richie.
Oh,
so throughout, in the middle of this kind of discussion, we had a trip to Perth planned together to go visit another store owner. And that was interesting because at the time we weren't really speaking. I mean, we were talking, but we were definitely not in the right, we weren't 100%. There were definitely some phone calls that had been had that were not productive, that weren't very cordial. I want to say, yeah, there was some tricky conversations. So we went to Perth. It was fine. We were okay. I feel sorry for Richie because there was definitely some awkwardness while we were there. I luckily flew up there a day early, intentionally, because I didn't want to fly up with Harrison. I didn't want to sit next to him for 4 hours and not sure what we're going to talk about. So I flew up a day early, kind of to avoid that. We actually stayed in separate accommodations, which cost us more money. He stayed with a friend, so he didn't actually have any costs. But I was originally going to stay with them, but I said, I can't. I'm gonna get an Airbnb just because we were not together at the time, and it was just awkward. But at the end of that trip, we had another meeting, and I laid it down on the table. I gave him the offer. I said, look, if I give you X amount of dollars, can this just be over? Will you agree to that? And he said yes. So it was all wrapped up in Perth.
Wow. Man. So, okay. So after all of that, now, I mean, I'm looking in your background and there's a lot of stuff there. So I have an idea that it's a fair amount of money. Did you manage to set up payment terms, like installment terms? Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I actually have paid some of it, but I think I've paid, how much money have I paid? Like 10% of the amount.
Okay.
But I have a year and 4 months, I think, to pay them off. So yeah, Ralph said, thank God there was no children involved. Absolutely. Well, I mean, I compare, when I was talking to my family and my friends about this, I compared it to a divorce because that's really what it was. Yeah. It was a divorce. And bloody hell, I'm never going to get married. Like that was so stressful. And I said it in the video that I put out. I said, look, there was some There was many times that I thought this is not worth it. I need to just stop and close the Brickshed and get rid of it all. There was some thought of me splitting it all 50-50 down the middle, like stock wise, like getting 50% of this stock and going and dumping it on Harrison's doorstep and saying, there's your 50%. I'm leaving. I'm done. I can't do this anymore. But that didn't happen. So, but the thought crossed my mind.
Wow, that's tough. So you're paying alimony.
Yeah,
that's a hell of a thing.
I'm paying alimony.
Okay.
There's actually people can use BL metrics now to have you heard of BL metrics?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, okay. You should get on that. It's a good tool. It's a new pricing tool. It's a new software that somebody's created for Bricklink store owners to.
Oh my word! More software.
Yeah, to do pricing and stuff. But one of the things that you can do is you can type in any store, and it tells you their inventory value.
Wow.
So anyone can go and hop on BL Metrics and find out how much my inventory is worth. So I think I'm happy to just say that because it's not a number that's actually secret. I'm just gonna confirm that it actually is the number that I think it is, but I'm pretty sure it's $180,000.
Wow.
But that's Australian. That's AUD. Yeah. It's like it would be, I don't know what that is, maybe $100,000 in, what is that? 180 AUD to USD is okay. Yeah, it's about $120,000 US.
Okay.
Is the inventory value? That's not
the listed inventory value.
Yes. I please be clear with that. It is listed value. It is not it's not the average price. It is how much I'm selling it for. My pricing on parts are significantly higher than the average. So
that also doesn't include any backlog parts that are out with contractors. So it's that never tells the true story.
Yeah, we've got maybe 200, 300 kilos of parts that are just floating around in sorting, and I've got all of the drawer units, I've got all the shelving, I've got all of the, I've got another like 10 kilos of minifigures under this table that need to be processed. I've got, there's all of this stuff that needed to be taken into account. So when we did the stock, when I did the stock take, all of that stuff was accounted for. So yeah, I've paid him. I'm paying him a lot of money. Yeah.
Okay. All right. And so you finalize the divorce. You get all your numbers set up there. Were you instantly like, okay, now it's time to play. Here's what I want to do. Just get excited. Try to implement new things. Or were you like, I need a mental vacation. Let's ease into this. Where were you there?
It's a bit of both. The trickiest thing that Harrison, outside of me having to pay him a lot of money, which is tough, the hardest thing about the process so when I came up to him and I said, I'll give you this amount of money for these stipulations, Harrison had his own set of stipulations and things that he wanted, which makes sense. I get it. However, his most important one, his priority number one thing that was his non-negotiable, like this has to happen. If this doesn't happen, then there's no deal, was not business related. It was friendship related. It was... so I mentioned before, I'm going on a trip, going overseas, going to America, going to Europe. Which I'm going to make a video about soon and announce and see if I can meet up with anyone else while I'm over there. And Harrison, we had been planning this trip with me and Harrison in mind for like a year. Like we were like, yeah, we're gonna go overseas. The business is gonna pay for us to go overseas. We'll go do Lego related stuff while we're over there, so it can be a business expense and it'll be a good time. And when the buyout came about, my first thought was, okay, well, I can't go overseas now because I will not have enough money to afford to. Like, it's just not going to happen. So his non-negotiable was, if we don't go overseas together, we don't have a deal. So, so to answer your question was my first thought, like, was I excited to start implementing all of these new things and stuff? Yes, I was, but I have to go on it's more of a have to. I have to go on this trip. I hate to say I have to, bloody hell, I've got to go on a holiday. Like, come on, like, bloody hell, first world problems. So I'm looking forward to it. Don't get me wrong, but there is something that's hanging over me there that I have to go on this trip. If I don't go on this trip, then I won't have a deal. Like, I mean, it's not in our agreement, but I agreed to it. You know, like, if I didn't go on this trip, it would just be ruining our friendship. It wouldn't be. I wouldn't be breaking a contract. But I shook hands. I said yes. I said, yeah, I'm going to go on the trip with you. We negotiated the trip down. We were going to go for 6 months. Ooh. And it's negotiated down to 4 months. But still, I am 5 weeks out from going overseas, and I have hardly any money saved because of the buyout and because of all of, I'm like, okay, I've paid him. I need to grow this business as fast as I can. So I have spent a lot of money. Oh, okay. Checking my mic. Been told by Ralph. Says I'm using the correct one. Can you hear me all right?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay. Sorry, Ralph.
Although you do sound different now.
Oh, I do sound different now? Maybe because
I think
close.
That's it.
This is it. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, I can do this. Where was I? I don't know where I was. I've lost my train of thought now.
You shortened the trip to 4 months.
Yes. So I've adjusted the trip to fit into somewhat of a better situation, but it is still going to be tricky. I'm hoping to stay with as many people who I know who are in the Lego community as I can for the free accommodation, because I'm going to be on a crazy budget. Because really, I can't afford to go overseas right now. So, I actually, for the first time, I never put a sale on Bricklink, but for the first time ever, not for the first time ever, but for the first time in a long time, I've put 20% off all parts. So, I'm not sure how long I'll have that on. It probably not for too long, but I just need to get some sales coming through. So, not for the trip. That's not to fund the trip. That's to fund the business while I'm on the trip. So, yeah.
Man. So, do you have a team strong enough to support the business continuing for 4 months while you're gone?
Yeah, I reckon so.
Yeah,
I've got 2 guys who they know what they're doing. It's not going to be the same as if I was here, and I have to accept that. I have to learn to understand that it's not going to be the same. So I have to understand that, like, it's not going to be perfect and things are going to go wrong. But all I can do is just be there. Like, I can be available to answer questions by message or phone or something or other. I'll try to probably set up calls with them The time difference is going to be a bit tricky, but we'll make it work. I'll just might have to just get up at 3 a.m. in the morning to have a call just to, make sure that things are running all right. But I'm comfortable enough that in 5 weeks I'm going overseas and the Brickshed will not suffer. So
good.
Yeah.
Man, I'm so happy for you. 4 months is forever. That's an incredible trip. Man.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm nervous as well though, because it's the longest time I'm gonna ever be away from the Brickshed. And I love work. I'm still gonna be working. I'll still do work stuff. I'll be managing the business just over there. And we'll see how things go. I can always come home if I need to, and I can always close the store as well. So if something goes so horribly wrong with my contractors, I'll be able to. I can just close the store over there. I can just hit close Bricklink, close Brickout, refund the orders that are existing, and see how things go. But I don't want to do that, but it is an option.
Are you gonna bring anything with you? Get a bag of minifigures or something to hustle in the US, get a little different pricing, a little cash flow while you're here.
I don't think so. So. No. I'm gonna I mean, you are right. I think the Australian dollar is not very good at the moment. So the money that I suppose I could probably bring the figures over there, and I'd probably get more money for them over there than I would here. So that is actually a thought, but no, I'm not gonna. I probably won't do that. I'm hoping to buy a proper camera and get some really good camera equipment and do some awesome stuff with the videos while I'm over there. So that's something that I've been, looking more into. But I got to figure out how that fits into my budget, because it is low and my budget is very small. And cameras are very expensive. But I would love to do some really cool filming stuff. The plan is to go and meet up with some US and European sellers while I'm over there and film videos with them. Not just the YouTuber guys, but some people who aren't on YouTube, which will be really good, because nobody's ever seen their setup, and I want to show off what other people can do in the space, and it's just something fun. Where are you based, by the way?
Boston area.
Boston. Okay. Maybe I come say hi.
Yeah, I mean, if you're anywhere in the area, I'd love to meet you.
I'm just checking.
The only large store anywhere in this area is about an hour and 20 minutes away.
Where's the closest?
I think Ben's Brick Store is the biggest in Massachusetts. And he's actually got a storefront. I think he's got to be an hour and a half away from here. He's kind of in the middle of nowhere.
Right, yeah. I'm just seeing how close Boston is to where else I'm going to... Yeah, I mean, it's...
We're not close to a lot of the other big guys.
It's a bit of a... You're actually not too far away from... I mean, actually, you are far away, but, I mean, in the whole scheme of things, Ralph's Bricks is actually reasonably... He's only a state away. Yep.
Yeah, but, I mean, where Ralph is, that's got to be 6 hours, I would think.
Yeah. But, I mean, 6 hours is,
It's less time than it's going to take you to fly over here, so...
Yeah. I mean, okay, all right. I mean, we'll put that on the back burner. I'm going to be in New York, so it's a journey, but it could be done. It could be done. Yeah. We'll see.
Yeah, I mean, we could touch base when it gets closer and figure some things out there. 8 hours on a
Yeah,
bus, I've done it. Yeah, it's I will pay lots of money to never travel on a bus ever again.
I, I've been told that Ralph actually specifically has been warning me. He's like, do not take the Greyhound. It's not good. But yeah, Ralph says there's fast trains from New York to
Yep.
Boston, but
Yes, there are. Yep.
trains over there are so bloody expensive. Is that
Yeah, I mean
isn't
that
that just my my opinion, or is it, do you agree that they're expensive?
I tend to say that everything is expensive.
Okay,
So, but I guess it's a matter of perspective. So we'll just pick a random number and say it's $50 to take the train from here to there, just because it's an easy number.
that's just insane. Like,
Well, but
we
what would it cost to rent a car for the amount of time that you're there just to
yeah,
get there and then come
but it's
back? You know?
we're comparing two different things. Like, I'm comparing a train to a train over here. So
Okay,
a train from um, that distance would be over here. Like, it would cost me like $12.
that's crazy. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what a train actually costs from New York to Boston. I don't think I've taken a train out of state in 20 years.
Right?
It's been
Yeah.
a long time. Yeah, I
Yeah.
got a driver's license and then just stop using public transportation. People are weird.
I use public transport because it's faster over here than it is to drive. So, and and it is cheaper. So, like, yeah, it cost us like it's all yeah. I can yeah. It's interesting that like when I was looking at. I think I'm getting a bit off topic here, but yeah, I was looking into the trip and I was like, oh, I can just take trains everywhere, right? And I had a look at the public passenger trains across the network, and I was like, oh yeah, perfect. I can go all across the country. And then I started looking at the pricing, and it's like 100, 200, $300 to get from here to here. I'm like, oh my god, that
Yeah,
is insane. It's cheaper to fly. It's cheaper to
yeah,
fly.
yeah. And it's most of the time, I think it's a better experience.
Yeah. I really love taking the train. So you know,
Yeah.
it's a bit sad, but
Although public transportation is not as safe as it once was. So that's the thing, too.
I've also heard about that because over here we're pretty good. You know, we've got it
Yeah.
pretty good over here in Australia. So land down under.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that you reckon, in specific to the store buyout, that you reckon your viewers would benefit from knowing?
Yeah. So now you have, well, you don't have anybody who you need to go through for making purchases and things like that. Has that changed your mindset about what your approach is going to be going forward? Are you going to
Um,
lean one direction more than the other? Are you going to keep on track how you've been?
well, I've already been managing all of that for like a year. So all of the day-to-day operations have been
Is
in
it
my control anyway, and so everything that we have been doing, the only thing the things that are going to change are going to be big picture stuff. The stuff like the big transactions, the stuff that I said to Harrison, I would love to buy this collection for $10,000, and he just says no because I don't know, and if he doesn't agree, I can't do it because we're 50-50. We have to both agree.
yeah,
So those kinds of things where I wanted to buy something really big and he didn't want to, you know, those things we'll be able to do. And then the big picture stuff like moving out of the shed, changing systems, like doing, you know, I've got some really fun plans. Stuff that's also a little bit outside of Bricklink. You know, doing more stuff with non-Bricklink related things that I don't want to say too much on that because we haven't I want to announce that myself, but
yeah,
there's some plans. The big plan is that I can talk about is moving out of the shed. We're going to do that. We're moving out of the shed. It will be next year sometime, probably maybe around June. We want to be fully moved. We want to be fully done.
Wow.
So it's the goal. I don't know if it's going to happen because it's going to cost us a lot of money. But yeah, that's the goal. So those big things we'll be able to do.
Would you stay local?
Yeah, I've been asked that a couple of times where we would move. And I think that I'd want to move closer to Melbourne. So Melbourne is the capital city of Victoria. And we're about an hour and 10 minutes out of Melbourne at the moment. We're in the second most populated city in Geelong in Melbourne, in Victoria. And it's fine, but I think it would make more sense to be closer to Melbourne, but it will be about the space over the location that I'll be choosing. So the space needs to be perfect. The location, people will travel to come to us. Like, we can be a destination spot similar to, like Atlanta Brick Co, right? They're pretty, they're not in a great location, but people go out of their way to go to see them. They're a tourist spot. So that's how I'm envisioning it. So I want to get the perfect space, and wherever the location is, it is. Obviously, I don't want to be too far out of the way, but yeah.
Okay. All right. So you want something that can double as a retail spot. You can have customers in more often, that kind of thing.
Yeah, we want warehouse space, we want storefront space, we want office space, we want event space, and I want a residence attached to it. So I don't want to have to pay for two lots of rent. Let's just put it all in one. I'll live above the store or something, or behind it or something.
Cool.
That's always worked well for me. So I live. This is my property, so I live here, and I like it. I like doing it that way.
Yeah. Roll out of bed and you're on the clock.
Yeah, pretty much. I got up like 10 minutes before this. So.
Man, 10 minutes before this. What is it? It's let me math here. What is it? 11 to noon?
Yeah, it's noon now. Yeah.
Wow. Night owl?
Yeah. I was up late last night.
Okay.
I was building a new shipping station, actually.
Really? Cool.
That will be in the next video. Hang on, let me see if I can. I hope this doesn't like screw with it, but it's
the big ass whiteboard.
Yeah, put a whiteboard on there. The tabletop is new. That used to be like that wood down below. It was a proper workbench. So I put a nice finish. Got some storage behind there for Ziploc bags and stuff. The printers are installed up there. Space underneath that underneath that bench for all the padded mailers, and up the top is all the boxes now. So we've updated that. So
awesome.
Yeah.
That's something I would love to have the space for. Well, I mean, technically we have a packing and shipping station, but you can't see it because it's just covered in Lego all the time.
Yeah.
So it hasn't worked out very well. It's also in my kitchen. So, it's
right. Okay.
Yeah, that's a good spot to store those things. Make do with what you got.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So a little while ago, you mentioned Bricker. You've been using Bricker for quite a while now, right?
Yeah, a little while. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you feel like you're fully comfortable? You got everything how you want it now?
Not fully. We're still ironing out the creases, which is a bit frustrating. Like, I don't have the Shopify connection set up yet. The connection is there, but it's not working how I want it to. So they're working on that for me, and I'm also waiting for the connection to Australia Post. So that is something they said that they would be doing, and they're working on it at the moment. And there's a few other bits and pieces that aren't working for me and stuff. But overall, best decision I've made in a long time is changing over to Bricker. Does so much more than Brick Freedom, and it's worth 3% of sales. So, and I've helped a few other people set up with Bricker, and they have given me nothing but good reviews on it. So I'm glad it's working for a lot of people. The only reason why I complain about a couple of different things is just because I'm such a big store and I'm doing so much stuff. I want a lot more out of Bricker than the average store owner does. So for most people, Bricker will work absolutely fine for them. And I've just got a few, I'm just a bit more picky.
Yeah. When Chris was on, he was speaking very highly of Bricker, but it wasn't really until he was on that I realized that Bricker is kind of a living organism. Like, it can do so many things. And like you can almost set it to mutate, it sounds like. It seems like it's probably very complicated out of the gate.
Noah is a high maintenance client. I am a high maintenance client. Harrison would know. Yeah, so yeah, I mean, Bricker will take any suggestion, and if it's a suggestion worth suggesting, they will implement it. So I'm working with them to finish up that Australia Post connection, and I've got a few other bits and pieces that I'm trying to get set up with Bricker, and I know Chris has been doing some amazing stuff with them and giving them lots and lots of new ideas on what they could do. For me personally, I've only asked for a couple of things, like the Australia Post connection and just some minor things. Otherwise, I'm pretty happy with Bricker, and it's not, it's good. It's great. It's great. Yeah. It's not. It's the way to go. It's the way to go.
Yeah. Yeah. When you get to the right point, right?
Oh, I disagree. I think that if you're thinking that you're gonna go into Bricker, I would go in it sooner rather than later, just because learning the system and getting all of the finer things just right for your store takes a while. So my suggestion for anyone is, if you're considering it, just do it. Get over there. It's, if you're a small store, 3% of your sales isn't that much. Like, I think my last bill for them was like $700. So that's for 1 month. So I was like, oh my God, really? I'm paying $700 for this. But then I have to remember it's worth it. But that did hurt, 700. But that means we're making good sales as well. So, but yeah, I would suggest anyone who's on the fence, do it, get it, start that setup process, because it takes a little while to get used to it all. And then by the time that you probably would have decided, yes, I'm ready for Bricker, you'll already be all set up, and you'll be fine and dandy. So, are you using Brick Freedom yet?
No.
Oh man.
No. I mean, I'm only selling on Bricklink, so there's really no reason for additional things at this point.
Sell on Brickout. Why not? Why not sell on Brickout?
Yeah, eventually. Yeah. Let me get through these tires, and then I'll be mentally prepared.
So you can take the title as the Tire King with my abundance of tires up there.
Yeah. I was dreading it for so long, and we've finally started that horrible process.
Yeah, it's not the greatest category to do, that's for sure.
Yeah, and I assumed that the sales velocity was going to be terrible on that stuff. I didn't realize how bad the pricing was on a lot of it too. At least the stuff that I pulled first was just not pretty.
Yeah. I mean, some of those big tires, they're worth a few dollars. But the price to weight ratio is pretty terrible.
Yeah, I mean,
for tires, for vehicle parts, for most Bionicle parts, the price to weight ratio is horrible. Like, you'll think, oh, I've got a good part here, it's worth $4, but the part is like this big and it weighs 200 grams. It's like, well, it's not. That's you don't have a good part there. Yes, it's worth a good amount of money, but I would rather have 1,000 studs than that. So there's good categories and bad, but it all evens out in the end.
Yeah. I mean, we've done very well with instructions, but then every once in a while you get one that's big and heavy and 25 cents. It's like, oh man.
And then it's like, oh, is this even worth my time to list? But no, instructions we list all of our instructions no matter how cheap they are, and it's good because there's not many people who do that. That was something that I thought of. Tanya from Sydney Brick Emporium has just said that Brick Freedom is free if you're not syncing, so you can get just the order picking software from Brick Freedom. So it's definitely something. All
right. Well, I'm willing to learn something new if it's free. So
yes, it is free.
Okay.
Free is good.
Yep. Yeah. I hate paying for things that I'm not using much or not using the way I should be. It's just we try to keep things a little lean over here. And then it doesn't work, and I have 18 subscriptions or whatever stupid thing. But we at least try.
Yeah, I'm gonna regret saying I would rather have 1,000 studs. I think.
Yeah. We're also gonna print it on a T-shirt for you.
That's a good Bricklink T-shirt. I'd rather have 1,000 studs. Just not trans red. Just not trans red. Anything but trans red. I've got enough trans red. Maybe something like black, like some black studs. They always sell well. Anyway, I'm getting off, going on another tangent. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, enough about studs. Enough about studs.
Oh man, that went sideways quick. I love it.
Yeah. It really did. It really did.
Highly recommend Bricker. Yep. Yeah. That's another thing. I hate the spelling of Bricker because when I first went to try to find it, absolutely couldn't find it. There was no way. It never occurred to me to try a Q.
It's an interesting one, and that's also the wrong spelling. The correct spelling is BRICQER. There's a C in there as well. No U, but all the inside. And you get reporting as well. I forgot about that. Yeah, from Brick Freedom. It's been a while since I've used Brick Freedom.
Right. Yeah, I would love to get somebody from Bricker on the show. Their time difference is even more complicated than yours because I think at showtime it's like 3 a.m. over there, something like that.
Wow. Okay. Right.
Yeah, and having people interrupt their day, I mean that kind of sucks. But having people show up at 3 a.m. I mean, that's really not feasible.
Bit unreasonable. I'm hoping to go visit them while I'm over there. So they're in the Netherlands, and I'll be spending a lot of time there. So while I'm there, I can go and hang out with those guys, see what their setup looks like, and talk to them a little more. Looking forward to doing that. That's gonna be really fun. But the buyout.
Yes,
the buyout. God,
all right.
I swear you can just go on it. You can just talk about anything. Like, you start talking about Lego or Bricklink, and you just end up somewhere else. Like, you end up talking about how studs are better than tires. Like, it's such a random.
Yeah, that's kind of the nature of it, I think. the way this channel seems to always go. But it's all related in some kind of way.
Yeah, it all ties in. Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. So, trying to think. Okay. So, going back to that, the last thing we said there was his stipulation was being part of this trip, and that the trip had to happen.
Yeah.
So, now that you've got that far, you have that all locked in. Are you guys, you go on this trip and like mentally, emotionally, that part is over? You could just travel as friends and everything's cool? Or
it's not over.
Theoretically.
It's different. It's changed. And Harrison was definitely, and has been definitely more, at least from my perspective, from the way it sounds, he doesn't feel much has changed in our friendship. He thinks, oh, we've agreed to do a buyout and everything's fine and dandy. Let's go on a trip together. But for me, it's a lot different. My relationship with him now is I owe him a bunch of money. That's our relationship right now. Yeah. So this trip, which we are doing partly together. Originally, the whole thing was going to be together, but another part of some of the negotiations that I had about the trip was that, okay, I can't agree to do this whole thing with you just because I don't know how it's going to be like. We have to find our friendship again. So I'm going to America by myself for a few weeks, and then I'm going to meet him in Europe, and then in Europe we can do some stuff together, some stuff separately, and just see where it kind of takes us. But for the most part, it's going to just be seeing where our friendship, finds ourselves. We have to see where we fit, where each of us fit in each other's lives now that he is no longer a owner of the Brickshed. So we'll see how that goes. But I'm going to be doing a lot of Lego related stuff while I'm over there, and I'll probably do most of that by myself, I think. He still has an interest in the topic and in Lego and in Bricklink, but I don't want there to be confusion when I'm going over to people's stores and stuff, and there to be confusion that he is still a part of the Brickshed. I mean, he still does. He does the books. He's still doing the bookkeeping for us, but that's not Lego related. So I don't want him there representing himself as a part of the Brickshed, or people to be confused by, well, what's this guy doing here? So I want to be able to do that by myself and see that myself in a way that I'm trying to find. I'm kind of losing my track of words here, but we're friends. We're going overseas. It's fine. The Brickshed is still going to run. It's working out for the most part, and I'm really looking forward to seeing where the Brickshed goes. Lots of grand plans. It's very unfortunate Harrison is no longer going to be a part of those plans, but it's still something, still something I'm enjoying enough to continue, because obviously the thought was to close the store as well.
Yeah, that must have been sad to think about. It's been a hell of a build.
Yeah, I've been doing this I've been buying and selling Lego for 10 years, maybe more. And I've been doing the Bricklink store for 5 years, I think, maybe 4. So the thought of not doing it was very sad, but it was there, and it was like, okay, I'm gonna go find something else now. This is as far as my journey with Bricklink takes me. Next steps are, who knows what's next, but very happy that I didn't ponder that thought for too long. This is what I love doing. Wouldn't do anything else. We've finished doing the barcodes now, so everything's barcoded. We're going to put up another shelf about here that's going to run that way in front of those white cabinets. doing some more expansion. I've got 300 kilos of stuff that's currently being sorted and cataloged that I'll need to upload into the store while I'm away. So the guys will be uploading parts. I am currently looking at another store purchase. I'm looking at a big collection purchase before I go away as well. There's a lot that is still happening. Yeah, I could go flip burgers at Hungry Jack's. Absolutely. How do you know what you don't have Hungry Jack's over there, do you?
Never heard of it.
Right. I think it's Burger King. It's Burger King.
Okay.
It's the same. But in Australia, there was somebody who already had Burger King, so they had to change their name. Yeah. Ralph says it. Yeah. So Hungry Jack's is our Burger King.
That's bananas. Well, I mean, I suppose it's burgers, but yeah,
it's
crazy.
Yeah, absolutely.
And okay, so you're thinking of buying a whole bunch of stuff prior to this trip, which, I mean, that's the nature of the business. You know, you have to replace what you sell, and if you want growth, you have to buy more.
Yes.
To tie up a whole bunch of money right before the trip, while it makes sense, it's also going to be a little nerve-wracking with the timing, right?
Yeah, it's like, yeah, if I did that, it would be a risk because I would be using money that was originally going to be for the trip, and I would be winging it in a way that, okay, I have to bank on that there's going to be sales while I'm still away, and the sales are good enough to still support me while I'm overseas. So that's that's definitely something that is going to be tricky to figure out. But there's some other options in the way of purchasing stock that doesn't necessarily tie up my cash. Maybe investors and such.
Cool.
But who knows what?
Yeah.
Who knows what could happen?
Stay tuned for the next
video. Stay tuned for the next video. Yes.
Yes.
No, we've got. Look, I'm not ready to jump into bed with another person to be a part of the business. That's not happening. I know in my video I said, you know, who knows what's for the Brickshed next for the Brickshed, whether I find a new business partner or partners, or if I expand the team, or if I move out of the shed. You know, I said all of these things. Getting a new business partner is not on the table for some time, at least a year. I need to figure out where I want it to go. So I'm not bringing anyone on as an owner of the business for some time, but that doesn't mean that I'm not going to take investment from people who are willing to invest in me. So yeah, I'm talking to a couple of people who see potential just like I do in the Brickshed, and who are potentially willing to invest money into the business, and one, help me expand, and two, help me get out of the shed and get into a storefront. So fingers crossed that all works out, because I'm not going to be able to move out without either a loan from the bank or an investment.
Yeah. But an investor is a lot different than a partner, right? So
absolutely.
It's simple. Yeah. I like the idea of a simple collaborator. That's also a nice thing. If you get the right person who wants to just kind of get involved in a task. You know, if you get the right size property, you can, you know, sublet a corner to the right person, something like that.
Yeah.
Maybe that doesn't necessarily fit your model, but it's something along those lines where you can get a little help in other ways than a partnership.
Definitely. Absolutely. There's other options. It doesn't have to be bringing on another business partner. And I got a lot of pushback from people who were saying, oh, you know, you're just talking about how this partnership with you and Harrison kind of ended, and it was, you know, it didn't go the way that you wanted to, and now you're talking about getting another business partner. And you know, it's not really their position to have an opinion on the matter. Like, this is my business. I appreciate people's concerns, but again, as I said in the video, and as I've always said, is this I never wanted to do by myself. I always wanted to work with somebody to do it. I wanted to build something with somebody rather than, I know what I'm doing here, but I don't have all of the answers. So finding somebody who can complement me and who I can work with, whoever that might be, is something I'm still interested in. And, whether it means merging with another Bricklink store or bringing on somebody who might not have their own Bricklink store, but might have a very small Bricklink store and who wants to come on part of the Brickshed. I don't know what that looks like, but everything's an option. I'm not restricting myself. I'm not saying I'm not going to do this. I'm not saying I am going to do this. I'm just processing all of the potential ideas. There's been a lot of speculation in my video comments, as well as Richie from the Yellow Bricks Roads video comments, that me and him are going to do something together. I did go visit him, so I can see how that could have come across like that. And I believe
That's
he said
big move.
I believe he said in his video, one of his videos, that he said we'd been talking about it, which we had. We have been discussing ideas and possibilities and just wondering, that could be interesting. That could be fun if we joined forces. He does new, I do used. It would complement each other greatly. But obviously he is on the other side of the world. So, on the other side of the country. So it would be
a big ass country. Yeah.
Yeah. It's, similar size to the US. So it would be a journey and a half. That's for sure.
Yeah. Now, do you think the desire to have a partner is just because Lego, Bricklink, whatever angle you want to put, the use of the brick is just lonely naturally?
Not particularly. I don't think it's that. I think that people around because of that, because this is a lonely job. But I don't think that specifically makes me want to get another business partner or a business partner. It does incentivize me to bring staff on and contractors and stuff to work in the shed. One, it helps motivate it motivates me. Like, if there's somebody else here working, then I kind of have to make sure that I'm working, because otherwise it looks really bad. But it probably has something to do with it. Definitely. This is a lonely job. You can just sit here and upload your parts and pick your orders in silence and just sit here and ponder and, sit with your own thoughts. And that can be tough sometimes. And it was tough. And now I really enjoy having staff on. But I'm pretty lazy, I think, because I don't pick any orders anymore. So, and I've gotten
That's
some
nice.
I've got some backlash from that. People are like, "Oh, you don't pick orders? That's, you're lazy. You don't do anything." And I do a lot, but I don't pick. I can't stand picking orders. So that was the first thing that I did when I brought on contractors, was have the orders taken care of, because I didn't want to pick anymore. So
yeah, I can understand that. I'd honestly rather sort than pick.
Yeah, that's how I was at. That's where I was. Well, rather than sorting, I also paid for people to sort. But yeah, I paid people to do everything for me. Like why work when you can pay somebody to do it?
Yeah.
But no, I enjoy uploading. That's my passion. I love. It's lonely as you find yourself watching YouTube, typing bad dad jokes while sorting tiles. Yeah, probably is. But I enjoy watching all of the Bricklink YouTubers while I'm doing my thing, and I know a lot of other people do that as well. They watch all of them, and And actually, I was at a market this last weekend that just left, and I had like 20, 25 people at the market come up to me and say, "I watched the videos,"
Oh
and
wow,
it
awesome.
went straight to my head. Went straight to my head. Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna, I've got to. There's gonna be a big ego thing that's gonna come with that, which is bad. But no, I'm joking. But yeah, it's good to see there's growth and it's happening. Things are happening.
Are you seeing comments from Bricklink orders? You know, hey, love the channel, that kind of thing.
Yeah,
Getting
all the
some more.
time, all the time.
That's awesome.
People, would say, "Oh, thanks for the order. Watch the videos," or something like that, which is good because that's what I want. I want the name to be going out there. And I was talking, or I think Ralph mentioned to me at one point that the goal is to flip the YouTube thing from the target audience being sellers to the target audience being buyers, because right now most of my content and most of the content that Bricklink YouTubers put out is for sellers. It's for other sellers to watch and get incentivized or find ideas to implement in their own stores. But they aren't going to go, or most of them aren't going to go and buy from you. So what you want to be doing is you want to flip that audience to be the buyers, so buyers connect with you and in turn then place orders, because that's how you make money. Like, YouTube does not pay enough money to make it worth it as a for a Bricklink person. What you want is those, like, I've got 2,300 subscribers at the moment. If all of them placed an order, I'd be rolling in it, but they aren't, because most of them are sellers. So that's something that I've also been thinking about. I don't know how I started talking about. Again, I'm just like,
No,
I
I
feel
love
like
it.
sometimes I'm taking tangents. So that is another thing that it's been on my mind, is flipping the audience, just like, I think Ralph mentioned it to me a little while ago, to target buyers over sellers.
Yeah, that's a tricky one. So we run the Brick Dynasty app, which it's US based, so it's kind of irrelevant for you over there. But it is a product and a service, I guess, that we offer. I almost never talk about it during any of our shows ever.
Yeah.
And I've gotten more people in that through YouTube by not mentioning it than I have pretty much any other way I've ever promoted it.
Wow. Okay. Yeah.
Just because occasionally it'll just kind of drip in conversations. Somebody will read a description and see that, we're on the socials here, they're everywhere, and they'll see a link to it and check it out, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of the same thing that you're doing now, because you have other sellers watching you, but clearly it's working if you're getting all of those comments, right?
Oh, definitely.
It's just the natural flow of things. And really, I found that you can be a better buyer just by seeing how the sellers operate. I also kind of think if you are a buyer watching a seller channel, then you're going to learn pretty quickly not to buy from Great Brick Lab.
Why do you say that?
Because he's just very expensive.
Oh,
Now,
well, yes.
Yeah. Now, on the flip side, though, if you have a very chunky wanted list, up 100%, he's going to show up, and then you're going to end up buying from him anyway, because he has all of the things that you need.
Yeah.
He's put himself in a very good spot. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, and that he encouraged me to put my prices up. I haven't put them up as much as Chris has them, but like, some of my parts have 70% added to the last 6 months' price, and that's a lot. and I was scared to do that. I think we were at 20% above last 6 months price. I think that was where we were at originally, and I have since then we've worked our way up, and some of our parts are at above 70%. We have a formula but it's a very extensive formula, and the sales haven't changed. Like, as in total sales have gone up, have continued to go up. They haven't gone down, and I'm making more money because the pieces are more expensive, but they're not so expensive that people are turned away from the store. Again, we are a high lot count store, so we hit a lot of wanted lists, so we can afford to put our prices up a little more than some other people. A lot of the new part sellers are targeting. They want to be cheap, so because they're competing with so many other sellers. Because if you're parting out new sets, then everyone's parting out those sets pretty much.
Yep.
Yep. But for used part sellers, whatever comes in the door is what we list, and we could have anything. Anything could be listed. So we are. I think we're in a unique spot where our parts are worth more just because we have so much. And the way Chris goes about it, where he prices everything up, and when he first priced everything up, his orders dropped, but people weren't buying from him as much, but he was still uploading, so his lot count continued to rise. And eventually, those buyers who were like, "Nah, I don't want to buy from you now," were decided, okay, now you have like 99% of my wanted list, and yes, the pricing is the same, but I'd rather just buy everything from one store than buy from multiple. So, convenience sake, I'll just click buy all. Yeah. And usually whenever I go to check out a wanted list, he is at the top of the list. So it's definitely working, and I know, he does some great sales. But I still can't get around the amount of the percentage increase. Like, it's just, it is a lot. It's a lot.
Yep.
I am not, like, I feel bad sometimes putting the 70% increase. I'm like, my God, who is paying this much? And people pay it.
Yeah.
But, I have to, it's tricky to fathom sometimes.
Yeah. I mean, I'm at 50% and I'm a fraction of your size.
Yeah.
But hearing his numbers, I don't feel bad with 50. That just feels like a minor inconvenience after. We won't say what the numbers he's using.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, with a 50% increase, I look at some of these prices. It's like, oh my God, how much work did it take to sort all of these for 3 cents? Like,
yeah. Like, there's, it's interesting. I mean, I think he's dropped his prices since moving over to Bricker. I think, at his high point, I think he was like 400% above the average, and I think he's pulled that down to maybe 200. I think I don't know exactly, but I say that, it's like, oh yeah, he's pulled it down. He's reined it into 200%. It's like, that's nothing. But I find it really fascinating, and it's really interesting to talk to Chris and to see his method to the madness that is Bricklink. And even just talking about it now, I'm like let's bump up the prices. Like, I'm already like, yeah, why not? I'll just bump up all my prices. What does Ralph said? Imagine buying someone out with 300% pricing. Yeah, you just couldn't do it. You just couldn't do it. That's, it's definitely something that I am getting more used to, that yes, pricing is not everything. Like, you don't need to be the cheapest. It's a different kind of, I don't know. It's tricky, but I'm happy with our pricing at the moment. It's working. It's fine. We're doing all right.
It's good stuff. Did you watch the latest seller chat on Ralph's channel?
No, I did not. I'm not a member anymore. I'm sorry,
Oh
Ralph.
man.
I forgot
right,
to
cool.
renew. I forgot to renew my my membership with him. What
All right.
was
Well,
the? What
I
was the
should
discussion?
donate a month to you. The so it really interesting. So Chris, I guess I can't share too much because it's a member thing, but
It's true. It's true. Yeah.
Chris mentioned being very specific about when he actually does the uploading and what his process is there now. And it was something I had never thought of. And as usual, when he gets to the end of his explanation, the light bulb turns on. You're like, oh my God, that made perfect sense. And why has this not always been a thing?
Yeah.
And yeah. Yep. Worth the membership just for the show.
I've heard him talk about this before when we've spoken. And it is interesting to hear that the way he the way he justifies certain processes in his store, and they make sense like when he explains them. It's like, wow, that I never would have thought of that. Things like pricing, things like upload schedules, all of that stuff is fascinating to hear. For me personally, I can't afford to just have stock sitting there. I need if I have it available to upload, it's going in the store. But potentially adjusting some of my processes once I'm moved into a warehouse and we have some more cash flow and we've got, and some more space. Space is really it. It's just that if the stock is here, I need to get it into the drawers because it just takes up space now. But yes, I find a lot of stuff that all of those guys have to say is very fascinating. I'm looking forward to maybe meeting with some of them later this year and talking about all things Bricklink, stuff that I can't talk to anyone else about. That's the other thing about these kind of interactions when we're doing calls or discussing things outside of Bricklink when we're the social media stuff is so important because yes, it's a lonely job, but also who the hell is going to understand when you're talking about Bricklink? Like nobody can understand. You can't have a conversation with anyone who doesn't do Bricklink about Bricklink. Like you try to relate to somebody with their problems. I'm like, oh man, I'm having this biggest problem. Like the pricing isn't working. For the last 6 months average on this piece is like, and you're having a conversation. Sometimes I have to. Sometimes I find myself slipping like Bricklink speak into conversation when I'm talking about what somebody says, oh, what did you do today? I'm like, oh, I worked. Like, oh, what did you do for work today? And I'm like, and I start going on about uploading some parts. And then I realize I'm talking about like, oh, I found out that a 1x4 dark bluish gray brick is worth X amount of dollars versus the, for a used part versus a new part and the difference. And I'm like, they're like, what are you talking about? Like, so I love it when I'm able to talk to people about Bricklink and talk in Bricklink language because it's practically a different language, and people just understand you. It's just like, yeah, you can relate. Everyone can relate to each other. We're all in the same boat here. We all understand the issues and the processes. So I'm very grateful that these kind of things exist.
Yep, for sure. Yeah, when you spend a lot of time on YouTube, it feels like there are a lot of people in this little tiny corner of the world. It's like, oh, well, I can name 20 people off the top of my head that do what I do. And then you realize that, yeah, you can name 20 people, but they're in all different countries. And they're 20 people you've never met in the real world. how many people can you name in the real world, none of which actually do that?
Yeah. It's really interesting that, like, even here where I am, like, the people in Australia who run Bricklink stores, we're all very widely spread. There's no one like up the street. There's Bricklink stores around me, but they're, you know, tiny. They're not like, I can't have like, I can talk to them about Bricklink stuff, but it's not the same as talking to, you know, the Chris's of the world and stuff, you know. So the people in Australia, you know, our big stores are Sydney Brick Emporium, who she still might be watching. She's in Sydney. Richie's over in WA. He's across the country. There's and then there's, you know, there's a bunch of other stores, but everyone's widely spread. Nobody is next to each other. So, you know, even when I'm going to visit them, I have to travel.
Fly.
Like, it's not a I have to fly. It's not a you know, hopping on the train to go see them. And the stores that are close by to me that are reasonably large in size, I actually have never spoken to, which is also funny that those guys are just not WA is Western Australia. Yes. Sorry, I should have clarified.
Yeah. I was trying to explain to my daughter the other day, where she's 8, so it took a little bit of work explaining where Australia was and what it would be like for her to get there.
Yes. Yeah. It's we are pushed down in the corner. We're in the middle of fucking nowhere. Oh.
Yep. Nope.
Yep.
It's fine. No censorship here. That's all good.
Okay. Oh, good. Because that's the other thing. I've been talking to the American guy. I've been talking to the American sellers, and like, oh, you're gonna have to give me what are the rules and regulations of you know, of being in America. And like, oh, well, just, you can't swear. Don't swear when you're in public. Like, it's not common. I'm like, over here, it is the most normal thing to do, to be swearing through your sentence. Like, I actually am, right now, I'm trying to monitor myself to not swear, because it's just comes so naturally to us Aussies. That's another thing that I need to make sure I'm doing, is not swearing.
So I'm in a group chat with just a bunch of, you know, various Lego related people all over the place. You know, it's content creators, Bricklink guys, just average collectors. I don't want to call them average. They're not average people by any means.
Sure.
And one of them is an Australian guy, Bearded Brickman. And he is a riot. And in the chat, he's going to be coming to the US for Brickworld in June. And he shared some clip from TikTok or something. He's like, "Hey, if I'm coming out there, does that mean I can't just say cunt every other word?"
Yes, that's yes. Okay. Well, I mean, you've said it. You've said it now, so you've opened it up to saying cunt. Yeah. But yeah, we say cunt a lot. We call people cunts, but it's a good thing. It's not a bad thing. So, but you can see there's different ways to say it. You can call somebody a cunt, and they know that, okay, you are, like, that's an insult. But you can also say, oh, you're a sick cunt, or you're a mad cunt. And so I'm saying it so much now, but yeah. You can't say it one time.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's swearing is part of our language.
Yep.
Another thing I heard was that I needed to, if I'm going over to the States, I need to slow down. I need to speak slower, because people don't understand Australians when we speak normally, because apparently we speak really fast.
It depends on where in the country you are, I think.
Where in Australia or where in the US?
No, where in the US. If you're in one of the major cities on either coast, then you're fine. Anywhere in between, I think you got to slow it down a little bit.
Okay, interesting. See, it's never occurred to me that we speak fast.
Yeah. So it's it's pretty much a derogatory term and not one I'm crazy about. But like the middle of the country here, they call it flyover country because all the attention goes to the coast and then there's everywhere else, right? That, yeah. What does he say? I have the speed.
He said, I have the speed. 0.7.
Yeah, it's if you go to some of the states, it really does feel like that. It feels like they have slowed way down.
Interesting. Okay.
It's wild though because like you go to
we're casually
just
we're calling these people slow. Is that what we're
doing?
No.
Like, no, slow, not slow here, just slow in pace. And
you just pointed at your head and you said slow in here.
No, I'm clarifying, not slow in here. Like,
okay, yeah.
Like it's cool because if you say you go vacation there, right? Now, from this area, where 100 miles an hour straight into a wall every day, it's just the natural tempo of this area.
Yeah.
If you go to one of these places and you're on vacation, after a couple days, you realize that, oh my God, my heart rate is better. I'm more relaxed. I'm not just like jazzed all the time. And it's like, maybe they have it right. And then after about a week, you're like, all right, now it's, come on, let's step it up.
Speed things up. Come on, guys.
Yeah.
Like we've got people to see, places to be,
Yeah.
Let's move on.
I don't know where I'm going, but I'm in a hurry to get there. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Nate. I appreciate. I'm also on. Like, I'm not speaking casually. We are asking questions and stuff, but I'm glad that you can understand me just fine because some I have heard. I've heard some interesting. Maybe the middle of the US should be better. Okay, wait. Why is that funny? I'm confused.
Do better, like speed up a little, folks.
Oh, should do better. Oh, yeah. I thought it was maybe the middle of the US was better. Okay, yeah, should do better. Yeah, they might need to do better. Well, where am I going? I'm going to Chicago area, and then I'm going to Texas, and then I might go to. I'm thinking about going to Atlanta, and then I'll go up to New York. So. That's the current. I'm still workshopping it, but I'm flying into Chicago, and then from Chicago. I'm going to go see some people, and then from there, I probably want to get down to Texas and see some other stuff. I want to go to New York, go see Ralph. Who knows?
It's yeah. Take a look at the routes there a little bit. Just thinking, don't go from Chicago to Atlanta. To New York to Texas. It's a weird pattern.
Yeah. I got to figure it out. I got to figure out what way to do it. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. And you're going to Europe after the United States?
Yeah, I'll fly it. Probably my goal is to fly out of New York to the UK.
All right. Yeah.
Apparently I'm just inviting myself along to Ralph's. He didn't know that I'm coming. Yeah, I'll be there tomorrow, mate. I'm about to walk up there and just, knock on the door and come in for a cuppa.
It's awesome. Yeah. That's a shit. By the time you get there, it might be mighty cold at Ralph's.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I like the cold.
Yeah.
So, the other one was I was talking to the guys about guns. And how common that is over there. Like,
yep.
What is your take on not politically? That's not what I mean. But like, what is do you find that most people have guns? Is that a thing? Do you have a gun? You don't have to answer that.
So I'm in Massachusetts. So yes. that is not a super easy thing to do here. This is a very, very blue state.
Okay.
I personally am good with it. I mean, I think for sure there needs to be rules. Mental health being a huge part of that. I think mental health, I think is just a huge issue across the board. But but yeah, without getting too political, there are a lot of guns in this country, and there are a lot of people who are very well trained to use those guns, and I'm thankful that those people are there. So, yeah,
it's so weird to think that you could be walking down the street and you just see somebody with a gun, like, and it's normal. Like, it's just so abnormal to us. We have no guns. There are no guns here, pretty much.
Yeah.
But outside of the politics.
Yep. Well, so here's Nate in chat here. Nate is a guy that I would be perfectly comfortable being in a room with a gun. Not saying that he's going to be carrying a gun in the room with you.
Oh no, but Nate's definitely got a gun. He's got a few guns. He's strapped.
Yeah, look at he's got squirt guns right there.
Absolutely. He is ready to. Oh god, I was about to say something there. They can't say that. You'll be demonetized. So yes, guns and swearing, and it's a culture thing. It's very interesting. I'm looking forward to going over to the US. That is, I've been there once.
Yeah.
But we'll go again.
Yep. Yeah, it's I would be much more nervous in a gun-free zone than in an area where everyone's carrying.
Really?
Yep, because if you have a gun-free zone, the only person there with a gun is somebody you don't want to have a gun, right?
Sure. Okay. Yeah. I guess.
Yep.
We had our first over here in the US, here in Australia. Sorry, had one of our first shootings in a really long time. And if somebody gets shot, it makes national news, and it's been national news for like a week. Somebody shot 2 cops, and it was it's like crazy, and it was in my state, so it was really insane. And actually, one of our neighbors here, it was worked with the 2 cops who were shot. One of them died actually, so she's not very happy at the moment. But it's really interesting to see how much of an effect that one shooting has had across Australia. And it's interesting. Actually, anyway, look, we are definitely way off topic now. This is like the most un-Lego related thing in the world. Okay, but back onto Lego. How are you enjoying? Like, how's it going with you talking to all of these Bricklink guys and all of these Lego people at the moment? Like, you've got somebody on every week.
Yep, every week.
What's what are some of the highlights been in the past little while?
Oh man, it's just been awesome. I mean, pretty much every week it's a whole different story, because every single person in this community is so different, and getting to hear everybody's origin story and what they're into and what's going on. And we go from, mock builders to collectors to Bricklink guys to investors and here and there. It's having a blast. I love it. Meeting everybody is cool. I mean, on the Bricklink side, I've learned so much, and it's very motivating. After one of these shows the next day, I'm like, I want to list everything, and then I start. It's like, oh man, I'm not getting to everything today.
2 pieces in. Yeah, I sometimes do that. I wake up and I'm like, I'm listing everything that I have for sale. Everything that I don't have for sale is going on the Bricklink store today, and then I get 10 pieces in, and I'm like, time for lunch.
Yeah, I try. It doesn't always work out, but during the week, I try to do something Bricklink related on Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Okay.
That's just how the schedule lands, so I can do that. And I don't know, we've got a ton of printed parts up lately, and that feels good.
Yeah,
And but it feels good seeing the lot count go up.
definitely. Definitely.
But it feels terrible seeing the part count not move at all.
Yeah,
It's
I mean it's
discouraging.
but you'll hit a point where only the item count is going up and the lot count isn't going up. And then it's discouraging in a different way.
Yeah.
Like for me right now, it's really hard to put new lots in. It's really easy to put in quantity because I have so much variety, and it's pretty much just quantity that's going in at the moment. And I hate that because I like lots. That's what I'm about.
Yeah.
And I've actually dropped to third place in
Oh
flea
no.
market in
I was going to
Australia.
ask you about that.
So
Oh, man.
I'm not happy. I'm not happy at the moment. And I probably won't get back up to first place before I leave. They are too far ahead. Actually, they're a decent way ahead that I'm not going to be able to catch up. So, but they list that some of those stores have duplicate lots, so they have
Okay.
so they're not like purist lot count stores. I don't know if that's a thing.
Yeah.
They're unconsolidated, and they also have they've got lists listed in lots listed in different conditions. They've got 4 of the same part listed, and one's in excellent condition, one's in second, third, fourth condition. And I'm pretty sure with there's the software that I mentioned before, BL Metrics. You can actually run a command on the store to see actually how many unique lots there are. So it gets rid of all of the duplicate stuff, and it just tells you exactly how much variety you have. And I'm 99% sure that I am number 1 in unique lots still in Australia. But if you look it up on Bricklink, it says I'm number 3. So I'm still this guy. I'm still like, all right, I need to get back to number 1 because I was number 1.
Yeah, where are you there? 30-ish thousand, somewhere in there.
Yeah,
Is that what it was?
30,500 at the moment.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah. I'm hoping maybe I reckon I can get up to 35. I reckon I'll cap out there. I don't think I'll be able to go further than 35.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's unless I raise my pricing.
Okay.
Because I'll be selling too
sense.
much.
Yeah.
Like if I put my pricing up, then I can maybe get up to 40 or 45. But I think 35 with my current pricing is where I've kind of estimated. And at the moment, I'm trying to work on getting the item count up a little bit more. So we're at 540,000 pieces, give or take. With the goal to get 1 million soon. I mean, when I say soon, I mean like in a year. Which is, I mean, that's doubling my store. So if this is 500,000 parts, I don't know what 1 million parts is going to look like. So, but one day, 1 million parts. I would like to be the biggest Bricklink store in Australia by item and lot count. That's the goal. So, maybe in a year and a half. I don't know. So it's a while away. We're a bit off that. The biggest store at the moment is 2.2 million pieces, but they only do new parts. So
okay, that's a lot easier.
Yeah. I could just buy. I could buy 1 million pieces and just upload 1 million Technic pins or something. I could do that.
Yep.
But it's probably a waste of money. So
Yep.
I thought about that. I went onto Bricklink and I tried to find 1 million Technic pins, and somebody had 1 million Technic pins for $1 cent each or something. Like I could just buy 1 million and list 1 million at 2 cents, double my money. not that somebody's going to buy them, but then I realized how much, like, it's 1 cent, but a million 1 cents actually adds up. Like, it adds up a lot.
Yep.
So I underestimated how much that was going to go. I was just screwing around. I was just messing around with Bricklink. I was like, oh, I could do that. That would be a quick and easy way to get to 1 million pieces. But I think that's cheating. So I don't think anyone would like that.
Yeah, that is a good point, though. We have not added any of the black Technic pins, not a single one. That would drive up the number. But I mean, it's kind of like artificially inflating your number. So
it is, yeah.
And it's a lot of work without a counting scale, and we don't have one because we don't have a lot of anything. So not a lot of point in it for us. We're 92,000 parts, I think, is where we're at. Yeah. And we still got too much to upload, but nothing in massive quantities of anything. So someday we'll find a need for it.
Yeah, absolutely. I think today we're going to finish off the Bionicle stuff. So I've got to finish the video. So there's some Bionicle stuff I need to upload over there. And then I may get started on the 10 kilos of minifigure pieces that I need to upload. But they need to be sorted first. And that will take me probably a day or two to sort 10 kilos. So there's a lot of parts still to be put into the store. And I've got tons of stuff that's being sorted that will be dropped off on Saturday. So there's and I don't have much room to upload to, so I actually also need to prioritize putting in another shelf because I'm almost filled in the entire second alleyway here. So like it feels like yesterday I only had the one alleyway, and I started expanding into number 2, and I'm already all the way down back this side. So
my God.
Yeah. And then
every bit of that is listed.
Yeah.
I mean, the drawers. Yeah.
In the orange and white drawers, everything you see, that is all listed for sale on the Bricklink store. Everything over here in the black drawers over there, all listed for the store. These rainbow multicolored drawers, everything there is listed. All the stuff that's unlisted is in in underneath the shelf. That's all sorted, unlisted stock, and then underneath my tables here and in the rafters. So,
my God. So so all the stuff in the tubs that's not listed is already sorted, though.
Yeah, none of that is not sorted. All of that's all sorted bulk. So it's gone through its first sort, and it's all in categories now. And then I just will send out those categories as I see fit. Somebody's currently working on. I have 2 people. I've got 2 people working on sorting. 3 people. Got one person doing another 100 kilos of A sort, and then I've got one guy who's doing 100 kilos of cataloging at the moment, who's dropping that off on Saturday. So I'll have on Saturday I'll have 100 kilos of parts ready to be put into the Bricklink store. I just need to put it in. That's all I need to do. Wow. So he sent me he emails me brick store files, and it's all sorted in a way that like I can just grab a bag. So I'll grab a big Ziploc bag, and everything in there will be sorted, and it will have a label on it, and it will give me a file that he's emailed me, and I find the file that he's emailed me. I open up the file, import it into Bricker, and I put all the parts away, and boom, upload the file. Like it's really simple. Cost me a lot of money to do that. Like he will be paid out for that 100 kilos. I'll be paying him 2,500 Australian dollars. So it's like it adds up. It adds up.
Yeah.
The hope is that I haven't actually opened all of the files. He's finished them. I probably should open all the files and value them and see if I've made money. Because that $2,500 is just for the labor on the B sort and the cataloging. I also paid for A sort, and I also paid for the bulk. So it adds up. It adds up fast. Yeah. So we'll see. And he'll bring back damaged stuff as well. So in the 100 kilos that he'll bring back, maybe 5 kilos of that will be damaged and stuff that I can't sell. So yeah, lot to it.
When you decided what to pay your sorters, did you have a percentage in mind, or how did you put that together? Like, for every dollar, I'm willing to pay 20 cents or 80 cents, or how did you come to
the goal is for bulk is that it costs me, if I'm listing $100 worth of stock, the goal is that I spent $50 total on it, including everything. So if I put in $100 worth of stock, that means I bought. So this is only for bulk. This is not for figures or specialty parts or stuff. It's just for bulk. So if I put $100 worth of stuff in, I've paid for the bulk first, which I pay about $10 a kilo for, give or take. Sometimes it's more because it's better stuff in there, but usually it's $10 a kilo. $10 a kilo for the bulk. A sort is $10 a kilo. That's the next one, and then B sort and cataloging I kind of lump in together. I try to get one person to do both, and that depends on the category. Like I pay anywhere from $10 a kilo all the way up to $75 a kilo, $100 a kilo. So that high number one, the $75 to $100 per kilo, is for accessories. That's the category that gets paid out the most
because it's murder.
It's worth a lot, and it's murder, and they have so many tiny pieces that you got to pay a lot for it. So, that's kind of how we do it, and then also I have to take into account the labor costs that it takes to. Once the files have been created and it gets brought back, then it costs me money to move them from the files into the store. So what I want is, say 1 kilo of Lego is worth $100. I want to have spent $50 and put it into the store, which, let me see if that works out. So I spent $10 to get the bulk. I spent another $10 to A sort it. Let's say an average of $25 to B sort and C sort it. So we're at $45. So I only have now $5 to pay somebody to upload it. So that's probably not right. So probably 1 kilo of Lego I want to be worth $120 to $150. That's the goal.
Now you also paid to have it picked, right? So where does that fit in the equation?
Yes. Yes, it's true. Now I have our shipping costs include a little bit, or our shipping and packing costs include a little bit of that. So we don't charge, like, say it might cost me $7 to ship the parcel. I'm probably charging the customer in total $10. So $3 there is to kind of cover, one, shipping suppliers, but a little bit of that will go to the picker. But yeah, that also then will come out of that, hopefully fits into that $50 as well, or the 50% for picking. But at the same time, it's not as important that it fits into it, because by that point, by the time the customer is picking the order, by the time the packer is picking the order, parts are sold. I have received the money. So it's more important that everything else prior to it getting listed is exactly right. I'm paying what I want to pay for it. Because once somebody's picking the order, those parts have sold. I have the money in my account. I can use that money now to fuel other things. Yes, I do need to take. It is a good point. I do need to take that into consideration, which we do. But yeah, it's expensive. It costs a lot of money. If you don't want to have to do anything in the Bricklink store, it costs a lot of money to get the parts into the store. So, it's tough. It's tough,
Yeah.
and I don't know many people who do it the way we do it. So,
yeah, that's a lot of management.
yeah, most people are doing some work themselves. Like I'm just sitting back, watching it all happen. Just watching the world go by. Like, yeah, all right, Timmy. Time for you to put some parts into the store. I've taken much inspiration from Just a Brick in the Bucket and from the guys over there and a few other stores to, set up the systems that we have. Still, though, it's not perfect, and I'm trying to make it more perfect. So,
yeah, those guys have a hell of an operation going on now.
They do.
Yeah. Are you gonna make it over to them, you think, while you're here?
I will try. Yeah,
that'd be cool.
It would be. I'm talking to as many people as possible, and I'll put out a video soon. So asking anyone who would like to catch up with me, to reach out and to try and work something out. So for anyone in America or Europe, we'll try to figure something out. And I'm happy to work for some floor space to sleep on. I'm happy to upload some parts for you, to do some sorting. So
yeah,
that's the trade-off. So anyone out there who wants some free labor in exchange for a bit of floor space, I'm bringing a sleeping bag so I can just, I'll sleep in the Bricklink store. I do it anyway, so I can do that. But yeah.
Do you find yourself taking naps in there, like in the shed?
No, not during work. No, not while I'm working. No, I gotta. If I want to go to sleep, I'll go to sleep, and I'll go. Actually, sleep. I won't just nod off in my chair, because it would look pretty bad to the staff.
Because you have people in. Yeah.
Yes.
Do you have people in there all day?
No.
Okay.
It's people. It's usually 5-hour shifts. That's usually what we do.
Okay.
So, and the goal is to have somebody in here every single day, or at least 6 days a week for 5 hours. And that goal partially is to help me to stay motivated, because I know I can get complacent and I can just sit here and look around and just admire my work. Oftentimes I find myself sitting and just looking at the drawers and just being like, God, I love my life. And I sit there for an hour just looking at them, not doing anything, and just thinking about stuff rather than actually uploading. So, but when somebody's here, I'm like, all right, work on hard, just get it all done. So yeah, I like to have people around. It definitely helps me get into the groove of working and stuff. That's for sure. Have you spoken to? I'm not sure how many Bricklink people you have actually spoken to, but how have you spoken to many other people who have staff in? I know Chris does. Ralph, I don't believe, has staff.
No.
I don't know.
So far, it's just been the three of you that have been on.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I feel like I should have Ben on at some point soon.
Absolutely.
I don't think he exists anywhere in the social media world, though. I can't find him out there.
He only does the stuff on Ralph's channel, the seller chats. Yeah.
That complicates things.
Yeah. So he might not have an audience that will bring, people are not going to tune in to your video because it's Ben, because he doesn't have an audience himself.
No. Yeah. Ralph says he won't be on anyway. Okay. Fair enough. DPM.
I'm not sure what that means.
I don't know.
I could probably get you. I could get
Doesn't
you.
want to be public. Okay, fair enough.
Yes.
Okay.
I might be able to get Richie on for you. Get him to.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yellow Brick Road. He's great. He's good. He's a good guy to chat to. He's really funny. But yeah, I find it very interesting to talk to other people who run Bricklink stores with staff, because it's not something that many people do. Most people, It's one man, or like a couple or something doing it, and they just do everything. And I have never run it like that. So
you've never run it like that? So you had people right from the beginning?
Yeah.
I didn't realize it was that fast.
Yeah, I never did sorting. I never had it took a while to bring people into the shed, but we never had. I never did any of the sorting myself. I always, from the very start when we started the Bricklink store, I did a couple of part outs by myself. But when we decided, okay, we're gonna be a used part store, we're gonna process bulk. First step, let's find people to sort for us. So.
Wow.
For at least 5 years, we've been paying sorters to process bulk, and only probably in the past 2 years have we brought people into the shed.
Cool.
Yeah.
Now, do I have it? I get the wrong computer open. In Brick Store, you can look at the weight of your store, right? There's a way to do that.
I think so. Yeah. There's a way. I can't remember how, but yes, there is a way.
Okay. Have you ever looked at the weight of your sales? Because you talk about, how much you want to make per, whatever you call it, per kilo, right? Versus. Have you ever actually looked at sales reports broken down by weight to see how you're doing there?
No, I haven't. The way, I don't look at it I don't look at the sales. I just look at what I'm listing.
Okay.
So I know that what I'm listing is fitting into my system and my budget, and what my expected value, my EV. But I actually don't know on the back end of when we're actually select all your parts, and the weight will be in the info tab. Okay, let's have a look. The info tab. I'm trying to figure. I'm not sure. Is this on Bricklink, Ralph? I'm gonna see.
Okay.
So I'm select parts, info tab.
Yeah, I want to see this.
I'm trying to figure it out. Oh, on Brickstore. Oh, right. Yeah. Shit. Yeah, I know how to do it there. Yeah. Brickstore.
Ah, shit. That's right. I can't open that one.
Sort by part. Yeah, I can do this. I'm trying to do this fast. Okay, here we go. There. I'm just going to do it for the used parts, because new parts, I do it differently. But I'm interested to see what the value per kilo is currently listed, rather than, I'm not going to be able to check the sales for it, but that would be an interesting thing to add into the... Oh, hey, Jason. How we doing? Look at that. Kiwi's coming to... Don't forget to convert it to freedom units. Freedom units being US dollars.
USD, yeah.
My computer's having it. My inventory is really large, so it's taking a second to paste in. We'll find out what my value per kilo is. I am interested to see what what this is. Oh, here we go. We've come in. We're in. Okay, let's divide that. Oh, that still includes new. Hang on. I wonder how much new parts I actually have. Can't let these Aussies steal all the limelight. I don't think many of these guys are Aussies, Jason. Most of these guys are American. You know, Kiwis and Aussies got to stick together. I mean, as much as we dislike each other.
Because most of the world doesn't realize that you are
that we're different. We're very
separate
different.
groups. Yeah.
Yes, we are not the same. Okay, delete that. All right, we have got a system now. Okay, I will tell you my value per kilo. Let's have a look. 121,615 divided by 396. Wow, it's really good. The store is worth. This is at my pricing though. $307 per kilo, which is 307 in USD, 307 AUD to USD. So $203 US per kilo, but you guys use grams.
Pounds.
You guys use ounces. Oh, what? I don't know how to do that. What's that? What's 1 kilogram to a pound? What's 2.2? Okay, but how do I do the math on that? So if 1 kilo is worth, so okay, wait, I can do it. Hang on. So $200. Okay, 200 divided by, hang on, I'm figuring it out. I'm doing the math. 200 divided by 2.2. Okay, I'm $90 a pound. I think that's what it is.
$90 a pound. All right.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
I think, yeah. So for my used parts that are currently listed. So yeah, bloody hell, math. I didn't get into Bricklink to do math. That's a lot better than I thought it was going to be. Wow.
A kilo is something that you hear about in Scarface. It's not something we encounter much here.
Which is so, I'm going to find that really hard to,
yeah,
that's
going to be an adjustment.
That reminds me of Pops doing math on camera. Yeah, 100%. Derek and I struggling with maths on camera. Absolutely. It's right. We got there in the end. So yeah, that includes minifigure pieces as well, which is not typically included. So I'm gonna, while we're talking, I'm gonna do that again, do that calculation again, and see what it is. It's gonna be a lot lower without minifigures, but yeah, go. Interesting.
Yeah, that's $90 a pound.
What are you guys usually paying per pound for bulk?
Minifigureless or mostly minifigureless bulk.
Mostly minifigureless,
yeah, because you'll get the oddball that's stuffed in there and broken torso and missing a leg or something. $2 to $3, I think is what I've been averaging. Clean stuff that has chunks of sets and may actually have some potential in there. We'll pay up a little, 4 or 5 maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, not much more than that.
So what is that? And then you guys, you don't pay for sorting, but I don't know how much those guys, the people who are paying for sorting, are paying per pound.
Yeah, I have no idea.
All right,
if anybody can give me a solid answer, what people make out here for sorting.
You drive when you come to the US. I believe it will be quite a change for you, speed-wise and road position-wise. I'm going to do the exact reverse opposite of that and not drive, because I will not be driving on the wrong side of the road like all of you people.
Oh.
You people.
Yeah.
Okay.
You will be surprised how many people drive on the wrong side of the road, even as Americans.
You mean the right side of the road? The correct side of the road?
No, I mean the incorrect side of the road. Like
No,
people
no.
driving on the left when they're supposed to be on the right because they're just assholes and
No,
drive
they're
like
meant to
that.
be on the left. You're confusing it here. They're
Yeah,
they're in the right. Those drunk idiots are doing the correct thing.
yeah, yeah. On the sidewalk and through yards.
Okay, so
It's awesome.
divide that by. Oh, okay, I've got it. Without figures, without figure parts. 200. Let's see what this ends up being. Okay, 165.
Yeah, Smokey. About a little bit of a draft rate.
So without minifigure pieces, the store is $75 a pound.
That's still
USD,
really solid.
USD. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to look at that tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm interested to know. Kiwi, Jason says some quick math is saying that you guys are getting Lego cheaper than we are. We're paying $5.50 to $6 a pound for bulk used. Yeah, we're paying $5 a pound at least. Yes, probably the same as Jason. So $5 to $6, you're probably getting it for cheaper.
Oh, yeah, that's actually a really good question. So Jazzy's question here about your postal carriers. Do they drive American cars?
Why would they be driving American cars?
So here,
Oh, because they sit on the other side.
Yeah, they sit on the curbside.
Our oh my god, what are they called? Our Garbos sit on the other side. They drive dual. They can sit on both sides. They have steering wheels on both sides. So the guys who pick up the bins, they do that.
Oh, okay.
But no, not postal carriers. We don't have. I know what you're talking about. We don't have the typical postal van like that. We just have, garbos. What are they? I'm trying. That's the only word that came to my head. I don't actually. What are they called? Like garbage men. Garbo. You just call them a garbo. They sit on the other side to pick up bins. Garbage men. Yeah, that's too much. That's too much words. Too many syllables. Garbos. Easy peasy. Trash collectors. I wonder if they see much Lego. I'll translate. Yeah, please do, Jason. Anytime my Australian slang comes in, you can whip that around. But no, our postal guys just drive normal vans. They don't drive special ones with like the side that's open. I know. Do you guys have like they don't have a door? Like they just sit and they
can just stop and walk out.
Yeah, we don't have that. They just drive normal vans. Yeah.
Yeah. Or a lot of wear and tear and repairs if they have to keep opening and closing the door off.
Well, some of them drive vans. The guys who do who drop off packages, like big packages. But if they're dropping off like small packages or letters or stuff, they drive a motorcycle.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and they usually drive on the footpath. So it's like it's roadworthy, but it's not. It's like it's small. It's a smaller motorcycle, so it doesn't have as much power, and it's not as noisy. And they drive on the footpath, and they just go to each house and they put it into the letterbox.
Amazing.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, or little golf cart. Yeah, same. Yeah, me and Jason have got the right idea. Yeah, or they drive a little golf cart type thing, and it's usually also on the footpath.
Our garbage trucks have automated arms that grab the garbage cans and then dump them, so the drivers don't even get out anymore. Yeah, those things are cool, man.
Yeah, we've always had that. We never had people jumping out and tossing stuff into the back. But they sit on the other side so they can watch the arm.
Yeah.
God, it's very interesting. Yeah, all the little things that you don't think of that are different. But yes, $75 a pound for my used parts that are not that have no minifigure pieces. So
Okay.
I think I'm done. I think I'm doing well.
Yeah. Yeah, it sounds like it. And that's why you get to sit in your chair.
That's why I get to sit in my chair. Yep.
Yep.
Sit and watch the world go by as all of my staff do all of the heavy lifting. Currently, my most expensive piece I have listed is $124 for one part, which is a Bionicle mask.
Wow.
Part 32571. It is the Bionicle mask. I want to say Kaku. Doesn't come in any sets. Just comes in a poly bag, in a mask, in one of the mask poly bags. Anyway, $124. Pretty good. There you go.
Pretty good.
I hope my minion overalls are ready. Yes, Jason, they are ready because Jason's coming over in a couple of weeks to visit, and I'm going to put him to work. I've got the ball and chain ready. I'm going to strap him in. I'm going to lock him up, throw away the key. He's never going to be able to leave, and he'll just be. You've seen Breaking Bad? You know, when at the end, where you haven't seen Breaking Bad?
Nope, I'm the one person.
Oh, okay, all right. I won't put that reference in, but yes, Jason will be my new minion, and I don't know what I'm going to get him to do yet. Because I don't part out, and that's always the easiest thing to do is to part out when somebody's here because we can do some sorting. But I think he had the right idea for a sorting challenge. That's but I don't sort Lego, so he'll probably
learn eventually.
Am I allowed to tap in somebody? Like, am I allowed to bring in my sorters and like pay them to compete against you? Because that's all I do. I just pay people to work. Oh my god,
yeah, I can't even say you're a spoiled brat because you made it happen. So pretty good.
Yeah.
Spoiled yourself.
I have spoiled myself. Yep.
Muck around and have banter. Yep.
Yeah.
That's how that goes.
That's what will happen. We'll probably get more done than me and Richie did while I was over there. I think Richie's actually over in New Zealand at the moment, or he's going over to New Zealand. I can't remember if he's there or not. So they're catching up as well. So all three of us will have met everyone, which is kind of fun. And hopefully one day all three of us will get into a room together. We can film an in-person podcast. That would be fun, but I don't know when that's going to happen. One day.
So how big is Australia across? Like,
I think it's similar to the US.
Is it the same?
US is slightly bigger. Australian size. Okay, you're actually reasonably bigger. We are 7.688 million kilometers squared. Oh, you don't use bloody kilometers either. How are we going to do this?
It means nothing.
I got to do math every single time.
I mean, you guys still talking hours. Like, how many hours across is it? Like, if you were to fly across?
It's
just East Coast to West Coast.
5 hours, maybe 6.
Okay.
Of flying.
4 time zones.
Yeah, we have 4 different time zones. I think that sounds right. Yeah. 1, 2. Oh, maybe it's only 3. I think we're only 3 time zones.
I think we have like 3.5 time zones. Because what do we have? I don't know what mountain time zone is, but I'm pretty sure that's actually a thing. Somebody smart in chat will tell me. What the hell is mountain time zone?
Here we go. Australia is roughly 2,500 miles from east to west. 2,500 miles. And then what's the US? 2,500 miles. And then US is
I think it's a little over 3.
2,800 miles.
28. Okay. All right. So
300,
close enough.
300
That's
miles.
the same.
Yeah. But you guys have a little more in the corners. Like we're a bit squished. So like we're like a bit more long. We get stretched out in the middle versus you cover a little bit more. You've got some, and plus you guys have Alaska, which is massive.
Yep.
So, and that gets counted in your square miles. So, whereas we don't have that. So it's, I mean, yeah, mainland US and mainland Australia is very similar, and no one lives in the middle of Australia. Nobody lives anywhere but the coast. So it's we have like 27 million people who live here, versus you have hundreds of million people.
Yeah.
I have no idea how many people live in the US.
Too many. Now, when you say nobody lives in the middle of Australia, do you actually mean nobody? Or
No,
like it's close enough that it just they
like
don't
100
count
people,
because
like
they're
100
villages.
people. Yeah, like not many people at all. Like the population density of Australia.
330 million. My God.
Yeah, you have 330 million, and we have like 27 million. Like it's nothing. It's nothing compared to. Like I was looking at the population of Chicago, just that city, and yeah, 2.7 million people, which is 10% of Australia. Like 10% of Australia, right there in one city. Like that's shocking. It's ridiculous. Yeah, I mean, there's hardly everyone lives on the East Coast, pretty much. Very little people live on the West. Yeah, most of us are down on the East, and then pretty much as soon as you go 500 kilometers inland, there's no one there. There's no one there from there. Like very small amounts of people.
I'm just picturing like the whole country like tipped on one edge because all the weight's there. Just gonna like tip in the scale.
Yeah. We would go over 100%. Why do midgets live on the West Coast? Are we mocking Richie here? This is mocking Richie's height. I'm really interested to see, because Jason is also apparently quite short. So I'm looking forward to having a height comparison between me and him as well. I'm not even that tall, so like it was a shock when I went over to Richie's, because I honestly, when I went over there, from watching his videos, the way he talks and the way he sounds like somebody who'd be quite tall. Oh, right. Very little people live on the West Coast. Yes, it's true. Very little people do live on the West Coast. One of them being Richie. No wonder they're so far from the rest of the world. We live in our own little world over here. Like, because even it's so weird. We're a massive country, but there's not many people who live here. So it's so weird. I'm scared to go to the US because of how many people there's going to be. Like, I'm thinking, like when I was looking at, I was like, okay, I'll go to Chicago, and I was thinking about, I'm going to fly to Austin, Texas. And I was like, oh, these are, whenever you think of inland towns, you always think small. So
I was like, oh, how big's Chicago? I know it's reasonably. It's a big town, but like, no, it's like bigger than Melbourne. Like, it's humongous, and Melbourne is massive to me. So it's just mind blowing to think that, and that's just in the middle of. I mean, it's not. It's on the edge of the US up north, but like, it's so weird to think about that kind of stuff. So
you're going to be in the States in October.
yeah.
So have you heard of Salem, Massachusetts?
Salem, Massachusetts.
Salem. It's
Salem.
where the witch trials were.
Oh yeah, like Salem's Lot, like Stephen King. Yeah.
Well, so in Salem, that's where the witch trials were once upon a time, and the House of Seven Gables, the book, takes place out there. So that's only about an hour from here.
Okay.
And that is a big hot spot for Halloween season, spooky season.
Oh, yes.
Haunted houses, and
I'll be in the
tours
US
of the witch museums.
For Halloween.
Salem is a small town. I don't think you would believe how many people they fit in that small town for like the whole month of October.
Is it that that packed?
Yeah. I mean, on the weekends, there's full streets that you can't walk down.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, I guess you can mostly walk down them, but you certainly can't drive down them. They shut them off.
That's crazy.
It's wild. Yeah.
So
I used to live the next town over. It was crazy.
What's Halloween like over there? Is it still a big thing?
Oh yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's everybody in costume, everybody decorated all the time. I mean, it's
because
a lot of people go a little too far, but
another thing in Australia, it's not something we typically celebrate. It's a very American thing, and honestly, a lot of people in Australia don't like Halloween because it represents America. They're like, no, you can't have that.
Yeah, I don't know. I love Halloween myself. I love it differently now that I have children than I used to, but we still have a great time. And I mean, in the States, we like it enough that as soon as back to school season ends and they get all the notebooks and binders and everything off the shelves, they're replaced almost immediately with Halloween stuff. It happens fast.
The other thing was, like, I mean, I hadn't planned on going to the US for this trip. It was going to be just a European trip, and I was going to do a little bit of Asia as well. But I kind of got the idea. I was like, oh, why not? I could go to the US. And it's kind of become a whole thing now. Like, I'm going to do stuff with some of the sellers over there, and it's going to be all fun. But I'm not booking my flight out of the US, so I don't know how long I'm going to be there. And I realized, well, say I'm there for 3 weeks. So I fly into Chicago on the 19th of October. And I was like, say I'm there for 3 weeks. That takes me to, the 9th of, maybe the 10th of November. Stay another weekend, stay another 2 weeks. I'd be there for Thanksgiving, like that could be, we don't have that either. So that's not a thing either in Australia. So that would be another thing that I would love to experience. But I don't know if I want to be in America for like a month.
That's a long time.
Yeah. Time. Plus I have no money. So I'm broke.
That's a bigger thing. Yeah.
It's going to be, I got to find, maybe some of my subscribers will allow me to come work at their Bricklink stores in exchange for some floor space. That's the goal.
Yeah. Yeah, but you're going to go and work for them, and you're so rusty.
I'm so rusty because I don't work. That's right. Yeah. No, I'll just come in and I'll just judge their stores. I went into Richie's when I was over at Richie's. I said too much, honestly. I turned off my filter and I just started like judging everything that he did. I was like, why are you doing it like this? Why do you do it like that? And I had to remember, after having a conversation with him about it, I realized that all of the things that I was confused about why he did things like that was because the way I run everything is so that other people can
can work in the store, versus the way he runs it is so that he can run it the best way for him. Like if it was just me, I would change a lot of stuff here. Like the way we do it is just so it's as easy as possible for staff to come in and learn. So
yeah, you need a very teachable system, and
yeah, exactly. So it was very different. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think there's any way we could ever teach anybody the nonsense we have going on here.
You don't think so?
I mean, somebody who already had an idea what they were getting into, sure.
Yeah.
But just some random person off the street, well, that's not who you bring in your house anyway. Yeah. Your average person, I don't think so. It's we're also in a weird spot.
Do you see yourself getting to that size for Bricklink, or are you focusing on other things for Lego?
So the idea is to eventually be full-time.
Yeah.
And I cannot envision a time where Bricklink alone supports a family of 4.
Yeah.
But we have enough other facets to the business that I think with a little bit of growth of all of them, I think we can do it. And I don't think we're that far off.
Yeah.
But we are going to need to get out of this space. I mean, we can't just have Stacks Acro units in our living room forever, you know?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. At some point, the kids need some shelving to display some sets. Would be nice. We'll
Absolutely. Of course. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. My oldest is our chief sorter. So,
yeah.
And we only pay her in Lego. So she needs a little more room to display.
Yeah. I need people who will work for Lego. Yeah. That's, I'd love that, because then I could just, I know Jason, Kiwi Brick Exchange, does, he's just asked you a question there.
How many hours a week do you find you're working on Bricklink? Me personally, I would say 10 hours a week, maybe. Wow, myself.
Wild.
My wife, however, probably puts in 20. So, and then however many hours my daughter crams in. So,
yeah. Jason has, I think he has people who take like 10% of the bulk in exchange for sorting it.
That's cool.
Rather than paying them, which is, I think that's pretty good. So
yeah, that is a good deal. Yeah, unfortunately, my daughter works for new Lego, not used. Yeah. Yep. So we pay her 100 pieces an hour is the deal. So she wants a 250 piece set. She's in for 2.5 hours.
That's clever. Yeah. Yes,
yeah.
Of course. After you've taken out minifigure parts and the expensive things, you don't want people nicking all of those.
Yeah. Yeah, that balance could be thrown off very quickly. I'm probably doing about 20 to 25 on top of a full-time job. Yeah, it's tough. I come home from work, and by the time, shower and eat dinner, I've got an hour and a half with the girls before they go to bed. And then we dive right into Lego work and work till midnight every night.
Yeah.
Basically take Wednesdays off to do this, which is fun. But
it's bit of a break.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and this is great because you get to meet so many awesome people. So
Definitely. And, you might not think it's work, but networking and, doing more things inside of the community can only help you. So like, it's not going to hinder you in any way. In a year, when whatever happens, you're talking, you're somehow, doing stuff with Chris, like, or whatever it is, like after, building up these connections now, and who knows what will come of them, right?
Yeah. at some point, some of the parts of the business need to go other places. And actually, it's because of social media, a portion of my business is half out of my hands now, which is nice. Yeah. The investing portion of the business, all of the admin and like, I don't know, business side of things is all in somebody else's hands. So we just go in and we talk about investing and just have fun and share stuff.
Yeah.
And that was all thanks to Twitter, X, whatever it is. Ken, is legal seafood still around in Boston? I believe so. Yeah, I think legal is still out in the seaport. It's that area is a lot different now, though. That city is entirely different than it was even 2 or 3 years ago. You go over one of the bridges heading into the city, and the skyline's completely different. There's got to be 10,000 units of new condos that have gone in. It's wild. Big changes. You can't even see Chinatown anymore. You can still smell it. It's still there. Yeah. We lived in Chinatown for a little while. That was an experience. Yeah. The good old days. Pre-kids.
Pre-kids.
Yeah. It's the only time you can do something like that.
I'm still pre-kids.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you can.
Yeah, you're...
I am basically, I mean, I'm only just getting out of the kid stage, so.
Young man. Yeah, you're in wave one. Wave one is a good one. They're all good waves. Well, I mean...
They all have their pros and cons.
Yeah. They all have potential to be good waves, I should say. I mean,
I like that, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess, I don't know. I wish everybody the best of luck in all of their waves. I guess some people get bad shakes. But where did that go? Something flashed by here. Oh, okay. I just slid that wrong. I just accidentally scrolled way up on chat, and I didn't notice. I'm like, I've already seen... Am I forgetting comments here that I'm missing out on? But no, I'm just poorly operating this little scroll bar. All right, enough of that. Let me think here. I had one more question. Oh, okay. So you did your little shed show there, open house, market, whatever you called that. So anybody who hasn't seen the video should go and watch it and
absolutely
see what happens there. So I won't spoil that video because everyone should watch it. How was the aftermath? Did you feel like you had a lot to put back together?
Not really. No. Like it was a lot worse at the start. If anything, there was just a lot of tidy up at the start. So like the shed is always just... There's always stuff in processing, so I just packed everything away, and then I moved my desks around. Like it wasn't a huge problem for the pack up at the end. Getting everything set up was tricky, absolutely, but it was definitely worth it. I took inspiration from somebody. He's not on social media yet, but he's another fellow American Bricklink store owner called Austin Blockshop, I believe. I think that's him. And Thomas over there does a market once a month where he opens up his garage and he's got Lego and it's set up like a storefront. And he convinced me he's like, you should do it. You should try and see what happens. And it worked very nicely. So we'll definitely do it again. We probably won't do another one before I go away, but when I get back, I'll start doing them again. So it was definitely worth it, and we'll try it again. I'm looking forward to seeing what happens with that. It was a bit nerve-wracking kind of putting my address online, because that's what I did. I literally, it's like, that's where I live. You know, that's where it's all happening. Yeah. It's not a business address, but we have security in place. We've got, you know, security systems and things. We're doing an update of that before I go away, but it's pretty good. It's pretty high techy tech. But we're adding some extra cameras. Everything's locked down. You can't really get in here. So, but it's really good. Yeah, it went really well, and I'm looking forward to doing more of them.
Awesome. Do you feel like you put out enough stuff? Because I think you had planned for that and got sets specifically to sell for that, right?
Yeah, we did.
Do you feel like you planned heavily enough for that?
Yes, I do. We sold most of the stuff we bought for the market, the built stuff, which we didn't want. We don't do built stuff otherwise. So I wanted to sell as much of that as possible. We still have some left over, and I'm going to start some eBay auctions just to get rid of it.
Okay.
So I'm just going to do $1 start on everything. Not on one listing. I'll do a bunch of individual ones, and fingers crossed they go well, because I did spend money on that stuff. But we sold a good amount of things. Next time, the only reason why we're not going to do it again at the end of this month is because I'm not going to have enough time or money to buy enough stuff to make it worth it to run another one. So all I'll have left over is the dregs of what we didn't sell there. And I also had a market 2 weekends ago, and then I had a market the next weekend, which was last weekend, which I just took everything I didn't sell on the open day too. And we did really well on that as well. I've got to finish editing that video, and we'll get that published hopefully for this weekend. So there'll be another market video coming as well.
Cool. All right. Well, I won't ask a bunch of questions about that one yet. We'll
more to come.
Yeah, to be continued.
Yeah,
I love that. Well, on that note, it is midnight here, and you've been with us for 3 hours, which I do appreciate. But,
that's all right.
Yeah, you got to get to work watching people work or something, and we all got to get to bed.
I'll have people here in an hour, so I've got to do some stuff before they get in. Always a pleasure, Ken. Always a pleasure.
I appreciate you joining. This has been great. Yeah, everyone, thank you for coming and hanging out tonight. Next week, we have Coop of Get Cooped. He is the greatest of all Lego leakers, as you will see on Instagram, TikTok, everywhere else. If you see a leak out there and it comes from Get Cooped, you know that it is reliable and well vetted. Coop is the best. So he will be with us on next Wednesday, same time, 6 p.m. Eastern. Not the fictional mountain that we mentioned earlier. But all right. Good night, everyone. Thank you again, Noah. See you guys next week.
Have a good night, guys.